Check 1, check 2. Oh, sounds like they can hear me. Now we just gotta figure out how they can hear you. 1 down, 1 to go.
Hello, 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 hello.
Oh.
Checking 1.
Well, I'll be damned.
Checking 2.
I think it just happened on accident. Everything
Spontaneously.
What's up, Johnny Rypop, A Hobbit, CFG3, Mr. Budget, Chief the VR Gamer, Tristan, good to see you, man. Robert Sullivan, my dude, what is up? Kev Gret, Jason Rosencrantz, meow meow.
It was a noble effort.
Streaming Piranha,
Jason,
David Regan, Kyle, PSVR, We're Gaming. You gotta fix that name, Kyle.
What's were?
What is WIR?
We were gaming.
Brody the Game Cat. I got to hang out with Brody at a concert last Friday. It was sweet.
Oh my God.
More on that later after 11.
This is PSVR GamesCast Live, where we film live every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Eastern, and we bring it to YouTube live simultaneously, because that's what live means. A little housekeeping. This is PSVR GamesCast Live, where we film live every Thursday evening at 6 p.m. Can you tell we didn't script this one? As always, my name is Bryan Paul from this channel right here in the center on his phone. So we're running a real high quality broadcast this evening.
Oh my God!
This is
Dave.
This is actually an AI form of Dave that we created so that he could be here simultaneously while playing No Man's Sky. He's actually playing No Man's Sky right now, but Robot Dave.
Yeah.
You know what the downside
don't
is?
join my game. I'm playing solo.
We also created an AI for me, but I chose my AI to go play No Man's Sky. I was like, you know what, dude? I've got a lot of work
for me, man.
I've got a lot of work to get done over on No Man's Sky. I'm like, I'm just gonna hang out here and talk with my friends while you get all the fucking crafting and mining and shit done. I'll be back when you're done all the hard work.
Yeah, just so people know, I didn't choose to be on my phone. This is like my computer's in the middle of this super long update, and it's going to take forever. So I'll probably be on my phone the whole time. So I guess we'll settle in. Anyways,
let's
how's it going, guys?
Let's hope not. I'm very, very hopeful that this is a temporary situation. You don't look bad. You don't sound terribly bad. You sound a little tinny, but everything is a-okay. So if this has to be the case,
you guys see that shining moss poster in the background? It's really gleaming right now. The way the light's hitting it. Yeah.
This mouse is always watching you.
I see your air conditioning unit, and I see your.
Yeah, it's a bad angle. I couldn't really adjust it anymore.
Oh, I'm so jealous. I want that.
Oh man, my cat knocked that off the shelf, and it broke the same day I got it. I was really pissed.
So cats hating mice is really a thing.
Yeah,
I thought that was just a Tom and Jerry thing.
Cats liking to knock things off of high places, because I had it up on the mantle, and of course that's the first place he goes to knock shit off the side.
See, that's what I'm saying. I tell everybody that I want a cat, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, no, cats don't hop up on things," and I'm like, "Well, I think they do."
Oh, they destroy
Cats
everything.
don't hop up on things. Who said that?
I don't know. I think Dave told me the other night.
I didn't say that shit.
I don't know if you remember our conversation.
No.
And then to our far left, over there, far past Dave, is AJ from PlayStation VR Underground and this channel right here, where he does tips, tricks, top 5 lists. Eventually, there will be more than one, and all sorts of greatness. What is happening, AJ?
What up, cats? Good to see y'all. Man, there's a lot going on right now. It's a busy day. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I will mention it was really awesome. Two quick shout outs real quick. One to my dude, Rody God, the Game Cat, for taking me out to a concert. I got to be on stage during this concert.
Holy shit. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. No, not only on stage, but sitting at a bar. And then, they were serving drinks and stuff. It was kind of like the set. It was a country show, so drink beer. And I was trying to help the guy out and be stuff, and he was like, "Let me do my job, okay?" And then he started getting overrun, and he's like, "Okay, can you help me, please?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I'm pouring him, I'm passing him out, and I'm pouring myself 2 extra cups and keeping it over here and just sipping on it and stuff. But really, really fun time. Another quick shout out to Reddit, who gave us a shout out. Let me find whose name that was. I'll come back if I miss it. But we got some love on Reddit, guys, and it was really, really nice. And lots of people saying really nice things, and just we appreciate you, man. I'm gonna get your name in just a second once I find it.
Yeah, Reddit can be a really volatile place, and so sometimes, I avoid going over there because the second our name is brought up, there's always some people that come out of the woodwork and be like, I can't stand that guy's voice or this or that, or like, and I'm just like, what, I'm not in the mood today to be assaulted online, and so I do tend to stay away from Reddit, like unless I'm like desperate for news stories. I'm like, oh, let's go see what Reddit's talking about, and then so when I saw that the subscribers, we definitely had a spike in subscribers yesterday, and I was like, there's something happening somewhere on social media, and eventually I made my way over there and found out, and I was like, wow, this is such a happy, loving, without parole kind of community over here. Everybody was super duper nice. So I want to say thank you to everybody who participated in that thread. A lot of people said some really nice things, so thank you very much.
Yeah, shout out to D Neil 99. You rock, dude. Thank you so much for the love. And Kev Gret, of course, we know you're always repping us on Reddit. You're like a Reddit god. We appreciate you too.
This is true. Reddit gods, different than roadie gods. All right, so yeah, guys, let's get a little housekeeping out of the way here. First and foremost, I want to make sure that everyone, if you don't already subscribe to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also,
do it.
Yeah, just do it, man. What's the problem? Just do it. Like the video, all the normal YouTube BS. We don't really get too wrapped up in that kind of stuff. But also, there's a Game Cat meetup. So if you consider yourself a Game Cat, aka a fan of this channel, somebody that just like wants to. Enjoys what they see and likes hanging out in the community, then a couple different things here. First, Six Flags, I think October 19th. So we can definitely do all the rides and all of the Halloween stuff that they have going on. Ooh, I think we lost Dave. I wonder if that means his computer's back up and running. God, I hope so. And so that's coming up. I've been in touch with Six Flags over the last 2 weeks. We've been trying to figure out some GameCat discounts so that everyone can. It's Six Flags New England, by the way, in case anyone wasn't sure. It's
Join us.
Yeah. So that's a thing. I know there's some people talking about renting houses, having parties and stuff. I'm totally down with basically raiding a movie theater after we're done with the park and maybe going to see whatever horror movies out. So that's that. And then, of course, make sure you join our Discord. The link is always in the description. We love hanging out with you guys, and that's where we hang out with you 24/7. Really curious to see what happens with Dave's screen here in the middle. All right, AJ, you got any more housekeeping before we get the show rolling here?
Can you guys hear me or see me yet? Anything? The app just fucked up on my phone.
I see you.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
And hear you.
Thanks.
No, we've got
I heard
tons
you
of.
say something about the update being finished. It's at 28%. So I think there's not a chance that I'm going to be back on my computer for this whole GAMESCAST.
We'll do our best, man.
It's all good, man.
Yeah.
No, but let's get down to it, man. What do you want to start with? You want to start with games we've been playing? You want to start with news?
Yeah, man. Like a surprising number of games kind of hit the PlayStation Store this week. Surprising number of updates. So let's get the ball rolling with those. And I don't know, you guys play any Beat Saber? That dropped today, and I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, I got to play some of that Beat Saber.
So yeah, this Beat Saber update dropped as we predicted. It included 6 new songs, the OST3, and it's all for free. Not only that, but it also included the colors update, where you can change the colors of the sabers, the blocks, the lights, and the little things that come at you that you have to avoid. And I gotta say, man, it is really cool. We got some footage for you that I recorded. Checking out the well, the footage will be shown in just a second. I know Rhodey and Mr. Sonic, my dudes, asked in the Discord. They were like, "Hey, can you make some kind of Sin City color thing in this?" And I was I sure can. So I recorded that for you guys real quick, and it should be playing now. And yeah, the color update is really, really awesome. I also like the new songs as well. I would say I like the first 2, which was like one was the Jaroslav Beck, and then the next one, and then I like the last song as well. So about 3 of these songs I already like more than the last 3 updates.
Oh, really? Okay, so I have a kind of an opposite opinion there. I only had a chance to play them one time. Sorry, is that predictable?
No. Your face is all frozen and messed up. So we're just kind of hearing you through a picture of you frozen.
That's fine. Yeah. I hope I look good in the frozen picture.
You look stunning all the time, David.
Thank you, sir.
You're
breathtaking. You're breathtaking.
I missed an opportunity to use a overused meme. All right.
Yeah, there you go. That's what we're here for. So
Yeah, go ahead.
I think that the new OST stuff feels a lot like a retread of some of the existing songs. Like,
Yes.
everyone's asking for diversity, and like that first Yaroslav Beck song is like the new we play a Beat Saber, or like something like that, because it's got the same kind of feel to it, it's got the same vibe and similar sounds. And I didn't hear anything here that was a better version of the stuff that I liked in OST1 and OST2. So it kind of just seems like more of the same but a lower quality for me. Like, I only played the songs one time each, so I didn't get much time to get to it today. It's been a crazy day at work. But
Dave, I know you're a musician, songwriter, singer, etc.
Yeah.
I kind of want to pose this question to you as far as an OST3 is concerned. I've been in like a lot of different bands, and I've done a lot of different styles of music. But man, I think anytime you ever hear something that I wrote and sang, no matter what, you can always tell it's me, right? And so when people ask for diversity in an OST, I don't think you can do that. I think you get diversity by doing like Imagine Dragons song pack, by doing whatever comes next song pack.
Well, I guess the thing that was just disappointing to me is that the songs that sounded that way on the original OSTs are a lot stronger in my mind and stick in my head. And like, even if they're not my favorite genre of music or style of music, they're pretty much all that sort of EDM or like pop dance music with the dubstep stuff thrown in.
Yeah.
But I think that the ones that they've done on this OST are not as memorable, are not as catchy, are not as fun to me as some of the other ones.
Well, they still, it looked like, when I looked up some of the bands, it looked like some of these bands are still from the Monster Cat label.
They are for sure.
So, and the Monster Cat has actually been, I know it's kind of divided, but to be honest with you, it's probably my favorite that we've had so far was the Monster Cat pack.
It's got Overkill in it, right? That's
yeah. And you sound a lot like somebody I know, Dave, that was talking about Beat Saber recently and the music and the variety to it. I think no matter what they do at this point, I think as long as they just add some variety to it, I think it'll be a big hit.
I mean, the variety actually isn't even my biggest complaint. It's really just the quality, to me, of the songs. Like, the variety is one thing, but if they made another song that was in the vein of, like, Be There For You, which is one of my favorite OST songs, if they made something in the vein of that, again, and it was as good and as catchy and I liked it as much as the original ones, then I'd be totally satisfied if there was, like, another Be There For You that they just released. And nothing really caught me on this one. There was nothing that really stood out to me. It just sounded like diminishing returns, I guess.
Dave,
it is free songs to play, so I can't fault them in any way for giving us free songs.
Sure.
And I love the colors update. I didn't expect to be able to change the background, the environment colors, which is really, really cool.
Dave, before we move on to the colors, man, I do want to chime in as far as your interest level in the new songs is concerned. I remember my friends and I used to every time we got a new album, like anytime like a new Radiohead album came out, we always did a listening party, right? We'd always go to my friend Jill's house and we we'd get real high and drink a lot and and just listen to the album over and over and over and try to let it sink in and just like all night.
Yeah, no, I've done that before too. Yeah,
and I remember my buddy Mikey always had this theory. He said the less you like something on its first listen, the longer you're going to enjoy it. Like and so I think these are the kind of things that a lot of those original OST songs were pretty awesome, and they were like they're immediately likable. And I think when something takes a little while to get its claws into you, I think you might find that some of these songs, after hearing them for a while, you're gonna enjoy a lot more.
Well, of course that's the case, and I specified at top. I've only played them once.
Right.
So this is just initial impressions. Yeah. And I do have a longer, kind of affiliation with those other songs, and they have a stronger impression on me. But I will say, just straight off, you've never played Beat Saber before, you've never heard any of the songs before. There are songs in the first OST and the second OST that, just for instance, have been in commercials, and they sound like a fucking catchy, solid, hey, this is a song everybody would like.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think any of these songs could be in a commercial.
No, probably not.
I don't think any of these could.
Probably
so it's
not.
Just it's in the same vein, but I don't think they hit the mark as well as they did on the first few. But I'll play them more. I'll give it a shot, and free stuff is always great. So I'm not trying to shit on Beat Games.
Right.
It's awesome that they gave us this update.
Yeah, as an addition to what we already had, I think they're great. It's a great update, and I do, when you said, like, you know, the wobbly dubstep stuff, that is Beat Saber at its core to me, where I'm just like, yeah, this is what I want from Beat Saber, like the wobblier, the crunchier, the better. I'm just like, yeah.
What's up, everybody who joined in, who's just joining in? Real quick, Chaz World says, Bryan, I bought a PSVR because of you. Good choice. And Delirium Drew asks again, he says, AJ, did you love the new songs, just the music, not the difficulty? I actually liked both. Not all the songs, but you know, the problem is the same thing, man. It's more of the same kind of deal. But I did enjoy the songs, the first two and the last one, the most so far. From just I only had a quick second to try it out. But I'll tell you what I really love is the colors update. The colors
that
update
is really cool.
Is amazing. And Dave, you know, I don't know how many people know, but you've said multiple times that you're colorblind. You know, how is this colors update for you? Does it help you with that at all? Or
one thing that I will say is, because I am colorblind, I didn't fuck around too much with the actual block and Saber colors, because I don't want to end up in a situation like I saw people doing yellow and green, and for me that would throw me off completely. I wouldn't be able to play that. Or like if I made it brown and like dark green or something. Like, so there's some I don't want to mess around with. But I messed around with the environment colors a lot, and that was really fun. To get to a new section of the stage and everything just whoosh, in black and white, but you're playing with, you know, blue and red still. And you can actually adjust the environment itself too, which is really cool. Not just the colors of it, but you can say, I want to play in the Monster Cat stage. I want to play in the Imagine Dragon stage.
Right. It's not just limited to the. It's not just limited to the DLC. It's the whole game now. And
I love that it's like, it's the spectrum too. It's not just like pick a green one, pick a blue. Like you can customize down to the T. Like this is exactly the shade that I want. This is exactly. And it looked like you could save custom color palettes. You get like three or four slots. Yeah.
That's
really cool. So yeah, I'm totally sold on the colors and the environments part of it.
That is absolutely my favorite part of this update. It was a lot of fun. I mean, even just choosing colors at random, which I did in some of this footage shown. It looked cool. It looked great. And you know, there is a little bit of an adjustment, like, you know, because you're so used to seeing things a certain way. There is a little bit of an adjustment of getting used to, like, okay, this color's on this hand, this color's on this hand. But once you get past that, I mean, I played my first run on Expert Plus immediately. So the difficulty of the songs isn't too bad. It's more like back to Imagine Dragons or Monster Cat Pack. It's not like the last update. The last update was brutal. It set me back to hard and then had to work my way back up. And unfortunately, No Man's Sky has been taking a lot of my time. So I haven't actually gotten to like master those ones yet. But to be honest with you, I wasn't crazy about the music. I think it was like Camila or something. And I like that.
What the Cat hard. It was so fucking hard.
It was really hard. But I mean, I like the challenge.
Good for you to be like humbled now and then. You know, like you're for sure. Plus, no problem. And then you just get the song.
No,
like,
I've got
I can't do this shit.
Problem with that. Like, the problem I have is that, you know, when Overkill came out, because it was metal and something that like I really enjoyed, I was like really determined to spend, you know, learning each section of the song, slowing it down and practicing it until I was able to play the whole thing through. When with these songs, I just in the last one, I didn't have the motivation to like learn and master them like I did with Overkill. So, you know, going back to the conversation about the variety and stuff, and like I said 1,000 times, I think they're going to get there. I think it will eventually. But we got to speak up. I don't know. We just got to keep letting them know, you know, they're not going to, it also seems like, cause you know, some people have streamed this game earlier and it doesn't seem like there's a whole ton of interest like there usually is with Beat Saber. So they really need to bring something new to the table, something that's going to like, you know, surprise people and create some like buzz around it. You know what I mean? When it's just, if they keep doing more of the same, it's going to kind of be hard to get people excited about it. Although, like I said, the colors update is awesome, but tracks, songs wise, if they don't introduce something new, then people that really don't like that genre of music are never going to jump in. And you want to, in a game like this, it has universal appeal already with the gameplay. You need to start bringing in new music to, appeal to everybody. And it's just
and I think some of that stuff does have to be free as part of the OST too, because if people have to pay extra for any time they want some diversity, that's kind of unfortunate, to get some new sounds in the actual base Beat Saber game would be nice. I think.
I feel like
I was expecting something different from this one, and
I
was
really
not. I was expecting.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was expecting.
I guess I was expecting something better, or that I liked more song-wise. Sure. And once again, first time playthrough, so we'll talk about it next week.
I don't think, Dave, I don't personally think these are going to grow on you. Maybe a little bit. Maybe one or two songs. I can tell when a song's
going to be a grower, and I don't think.
Yeah, I think one or two of these is going to grow on you. But I don't think in general, especially the middle songs, the songs in the middle that are just
my computer just wait, hold on, sorry, my computer just restarted. I'm going to ditch this phone shit. I'll see you guys in a minute.
Okay, all right. We'll see you back. All right, so everyone, wave goodbye.
It's all AJ. It's just
to
AJ.
AI Dave. Wave goodbye to AI Dave. He's going to stop playing No Man's Sky, and the real Dave is going to join us. But no, I like the songs in general, but like I said, yeah, it's nothing that's going to blow the world open. You know what I mean? But they'll get there. They will get there. I will say, I think they fixed a lot of the issues with the tracking as well. The tracking felt good today, and obviously that could have been a setup thing, but I truly believe because the amount of complaints after the Imagine Dragons pack, I think it was, there was a lot of people having this issue where randomly the left hand would just go whoop, and just you'd be sitting there and it just wouldn't register for some reason. And they mentioned something about making some kind of tweaks to the hit detection on the last 3 songs they made. So we'll see. Is it still just me on the?
I switch back and forth every so often because I haven't said anything in about 20 minutes, so I'm making fun of you. I'm like, hey, real quick. I think as far as this is what's great about this is that they are doing the I expect you to die thing, and I think it's hard for someone like Dave to recognize, to say, hey, this is something that when people buy Beat Saber from this point on, it's a better value proposition. Instead of lowering the price, it's hey, let's throw more stuff at you so that when you buy it, you get more stuff. I was getting mad on some recent episode of Why We Love, because some game you look at something like Arizona Sunshine, right? Arizona Sunshine's been $40 since day one, right? And it's sure they've added a little bit here and there, but $40, right? It's just why aren't games from that period of time, from the first year of PlayStation VR, why aren't they all half price now, right? How
most of them are. I mean, a lot of them are. So somebody said the Souls Project, of course, it's on sale, but the Souls Project is $5, and there was crap. I can't remember the rest of them. But there was a couple good games. Most games do that. I don't know why. Even Arizona Sunshine goes on sale occasionally. And
it goes on sale, but I'm saying retail price, man. We should definitely be seeing all of these games, all of these old games, drop, and some of them do, and I'm really happy when I see that. I think it's respectful to the gamers when you say, hey, you know what? If you weren't interested at this game at $40, well, now it's $30. Well, now it's $20. Permanent price drop. But the other way to get around that is exactly what Shell Games is doing with I Expect You to Die, and exactly what Beat Games is doing with Beat Saber. Just adding more content, making it a better value proposition. And I'm like, you know what? I'd actually rather this be the case. I'd rather you keep throwing free content at us. I'd rather have that than the price go down.
Can you guys hear me now? Am I back?
I can't hear a word.
You look and sound much better.
Oh, you're all pixelated. You can't hear a thing.
I didn't want to say anything, but yeah, you look like a robot.
It's terrible.
You were frozen for most of it, for sure. Hey, shout out real quick to Madman in Black the Game Cat with a 10 quid donation. No comment. No comment. He just sending love without words.
Because he's such a madman.
Dave, you got to get your special effects back out, man.
I can't use the button to mute
Pinball.
myself.
Thank you, Kev. Yeah, Pinball VR is $4.49 right now. That's that's really awesome.
I think the Persistence is on sale. Blasters of the Galaxy. These are all games that you should probably have in your catalog by now. Your Long Shadows, I have not watched Dread yet. I'm sorry, Dave. Can you turn your mic up a little bit?
Chaz World says Saber color suggestions. I love black and white.
Mine are on black and white right now, for sure.
Black and white for the
Black
light,
and white is really cool. Just
and then red and yellow for the sabers, and then pink for the dodgy block things.
Shout out to original Uber bitch, the Game Cat.
Trying to get my sound. People are asking for the sounds.
For microwave cupcakes, and anybody on our Discord knows exactly what he's talking about because, man, like right before this show started, I was just like flipping through YouTube, and they recommended this like make like a chocolate chip cookie in like a teacup, and it's like this big fat chocolate chip cookie, and I was like, I just really want that right now, really want that. You know, sometimes things just hit you, and that hit me. Thank you very much, original Uber bitch Game Cat.
Captain Fuzzy Bottom, the Game Cat, meow, says we need metal. Yes, we do, buddy. Yes,
we need grunge. We need the iCarly theme song.
Yeah, grunge, metal. Like I said, you know, any rock. I would love classic rock. Dude, classical rock would be so good.
Did you say classical?
Obstacles.
I heard that.
Thank you, Reaper. Obstacles.
Is that like Dream
I
Theater?
forgot my word.
Classical.
Did Cloaked Reaper spell obstacles like testicles? I'm not sure if that's how obstacles are spelled.
That is
Close
that
enough.
is how you spell obstacles.
Is it?
That is
Is that also how you spell
That's what I was
testicles? Because now,
no, testicles with an ICLE.
Yes.
see, this is how I
Icicles. So if you need to remember it, icicles and testicles, same spelling. Obstacles, totally different. And
also,
I can't
if you have
remember
icicles on your testicles, then we
Ooh, big problem. That's an
need to
obstacle.
talk.
You got icicles on your
you
testicles.
got obstacles. Can you? Your mic is still really low, Dave. Can you turn up?
Yeah, I'll try.
All right, guys. I think that is maybe enough of a Beat Saber talk. I don't think we could ever talk enough about Beat Saber, but man,
Testing.
it's a little better, yeah,
Better?
for sure.
Louder.
Yeah. Yep.
How about now? Too loud?
No, it's good.
Good?
Yeah, you good?
All right, cool.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, cool. All right, guys. Well, of course, Beat Saber update isn't the only thing that came out this week. What else have we been playing? I think that there might be some magical one in our future here.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
You guys want to talk? You guys want to talk a little bit about Waltz of the Wizard?
Well, let's not dance around it anymore.
By Alden Dynamics. Yeah, we've been waiting on this game for quite some time, and it finally came out. I say game, it's actually an experience. I think they even say themselves they call it an experience, but they do call it the, extended edition?
It is.
And yeah, I really, for being someone who doesn't like experiences, I think they got this one right. I think, we'll go into the details in just a second, but I think really the only one problem with it is that it is an experience. It's really short, but it's a lot of fun, and it's only $9.99.
Yeah.
But it doesn't last long.
So for anyone who hasn't checked this out or didn't watch our live stream day before yesterday, you're basically it's very job simulator like in terms of how it's played. You can walk around your what's a wizard's laboratory called?
Maybe
his
his
Sanctum?
Sanctum. That sounds right.
I stole that from the Wizards.
Wizards, yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
Job Simulator is way less clunky than this game.
No, there are definitely issues with this, but like but they put you. It's obviously a different genre, I guess, of pick up and throw 'em kind of things. I just like how you've got this desk here, and on the desk is just like all these different things, and immediately you just want to start picking things up and playing with them and seeing what they do, and pretty much every single time you pick something up, something happens, right? And then they allow you to start combining things, and it's really just it really takes the game out of Job Simulator and Vacation Simulator and just says, hey, just fuck with shit.
Right.
And so, and I think when I first was playing, I was kind of in love with it. I was like, this is great. This is Job Simulator in a world that I want to be in, with a graphical style that I really enjoy, with a lot of special effects that I really like, and you feel kind of powerful being able to throw fireballs and create fireworks coming out of your hands and shit. I liked all of that. And then like by the end of the stream, I said, an hour and 15 minutes in, I was like, I don't know, sure what else to do here. And then I went back in today, played for another 20 minutes, got the rest of the trophies. And I was like, oh, there isn't much else to do. And I think there's that problem lies in that you create all these spells or these potions, but then you can't use one to interact with another. You can't layer these things on top of each other. And I think that's where the real problem comes from.
There's also not a game around it, like you said. It is
Right.
very much an experience because, so it's the concept that you had in Mage's Tale where you can create your own spells in the cauldron, throwing different stuff in there, mixing and matching, and coming up with something new that's in your arsenal. But you have an arsenal that's useless. All you can do is fuck around in that room with it.
Right.
So there's no game behind it. I was kind of disappointed because it looks really good. I mean, the graphics are awesome. The way that the fluid, like, graphics in the cauldron look, you can, like, wipe your hand through it. You can, like, swing your hand through it. It looks beautiful. It's so good. It's, like, better than Vacation
swirling it around and stuff.
Yeah, but it's just, like, eventually I felt like, okay, this is a thing where there's a lot of little things to fuck with, but there's no guidance, and they're just like, here you are.
Yeah.
Stand here. There's no tutorial that says, hey, you can interact with this and do this and create a spell this way, or this is where you go to get the little tiny mission that's included.
I'll tell you
there is one. There is the one where you walk around and there's enemies and there's like a maze and not really like a puzzle, but you sort of have to open up certain areas and, you know, get this whole thing going.
That was by far my favorite part of the game. You know, I've never been much of an experience, mess around with stuff. You know, I think Bryan has always said he loves just walking in and being able to just throw stuff and mess with stuff. Although I did like some of the spells. Like I liked touching everything. They turn to frogs, and you can touch everything, and it's like 100 frogs jumping around.
Cool looking frogs. Those are those cool tree frogs with like the blue and the
right. And then you know, the butterflies, the drawing in the air, and it like stands. But my favorite part was by far the little side puzzle maze, where it almost had like some in-depth kind of gameplay. And,
oh God! Don't say that. Don't say that. Dude, it's nowhere near in-depth. It's like very limited. It's very simple. There's a guy who walks towards you, and you one hit him no matter what you've got.
Yeah.
If it's a fireball, a sword, whatever it is, it just goes rah, and he falls over. And then there's a guy who looks like a boss at the top of the tower. You one hit that guy too, and it just falls over.
I mean, in depth is not that much different in terms of.
In depth is like, so much deeper from a gameplay.
Guys,
there's actual gameplay.
Can we not compare this to in depth?
Guys, in the chat, it's nothing like in depth. Don't buy it if you like in depth.
No. I'm not. I don't mean like that, but I don't know.
The problem I had with that part though was like it shows you, okay, there is a little section of actual gameplay in this game.
Yep.
And that's when the mechanics started to break down for me, when I wasn't standing in a little room. Because you got a few options. You can either walk at a fucking snail's pace with free locomotion, with no run button. You can teleport, or you can do this weird, like, tele-line thing where you tell it to go.
I couldn't even figure that out. It was weird.
That was the new one.
Yeah, that one was strange. But the problem is there's certain puzzles in that part where if you're using free locomotion, there'll be a wall that's like coming at you really fast from behind, closing in, and you can't get past it if you're walking. There is no run button, and it's built in a way where you literally just can't beat that part if you're walking.
I totally beat that part when I was walking.
Yeah,
no, like first try.
I had to switch to teleport. Anyways, just the actual like gameplay stuff felt kind of clunky and not that exciting when I got into a gameplay setting.
Yeah,
you know. So I don't know. Oh, Kevgret says I'm extra grumpy today. I'm not extra grumpy. I think it's a good looking game, but I think
you seem hard to please today. You definitely seem don't like the Beat Saber songs. Don't like the.
They're okay.
The Wizards,
I love the colors,
the Waltz of the Wizard.
I'm just saying that I just don't think. Well, Waltz of the Wizard, let's be honest, isn't that great. Can we all agree that it's not really that great?
I don't think it's anything special, but
that's what I'm saying. Like, even though it's only $10, I don't think you need to have it.
I don't think you need to have it.
I liked it more than Wizards, and I liked it more than Mage's Tale.
I will say,
even though it was like an hour
Mage's Tale is way better. Mage's Tale is much better. That's not even a game, dude. That's not even a game.
I kind of hate the Mage's Tale. The Mage's Tale is everything I hate about. But that's like a preference thing. I can actually say that there's a game and that there's
that's fine.
But no, this is so
even Wizards, which I don't like. I like better than this game because there is a game.
Yeah,
it's a game.
I was kind of in love with this game or this experience, whatever you want to call it, for the first half hour, 45 minutes,
right.
And I love just being like, what am I going to do? Like, what is going to happen when I do this? When I rub the lamp, some genie kind of came out or something. Like, is that going to affect something later? And I think there's obviously a ton of potential in this game, and I think that when this was a free to play experience on PC, I think they said, oh, you know what, we do need to add a lot to this, and that's when they created all the extra stuff and created the extended edition.
Yeah, if this is the extended edition, I couldn't imagine what it was before.
But still, at $10, I think it's a little pricey, considering I really don't think you're going to get more than 90 minutes out of this thing total.
That's the problem. Is you have a nice experience, but it's very short.
And then once it's over, I kind of was like, you know what? I'm like, what excited me most about playing this was the same thing that excited me about Mars Alive, was that I wonder what's going to happen next, right? And then when you find out that nothing really ever happens next, suddenly you have to go back to that first hour and go, maybe that wasn't as good as I thought it was, right? Like, because then there's this big letdown when you find out there's just nothing really left. So, right. So I think, if this was $5, I'd be like, just get it. It's fun.
Get to compare. I don't see how I can't compare that section to In Death. And yet you get to compare this to Mars Alive or whatever.
Oh, I'm definitely not comparing any gameplay at all. I'm comparing the feeling of anticipation of like what's next, what could there possibly be around the next corner, and when there's not anything, it's ultimately a letdown. So
yeah.
$5, I'd say pick this thing up. For 10, I'd be like, you might not.
I still think good on them for only charging 10. Because
if they charged any more, it would have been fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, but devs have been doing that like left and right.
Not for something that has less content or less.
Telefrag.
Telefrag is a game, motherfucker. You can play that shit extensively if you have a friend who you want to play it with.
But
$25 we're talking about content.
Well, no. What I'm saying is that $25 should have been $15 too. Yep. But this is not great just because it's $10. Anyways, hold on. Somebody said I need a drink, so I'm going to take a shot.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't me that said that.
It was a whole bit. And then Ari is asking me to take 2, but I'm not going to do that, Ari.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ari. We need to keep Dave sober for at least 20 more minutes.
I have to work after this, too.
Nice.
A little bit says he was too late now.
But yeah, I think, like you said, overall, I think that's the gist of it is, it's a nice experience, but it's still... Even though I think the price is pretty nice for being that low, it still could be lower, which is a shame. But
shout out to Delirium Drew _PSVR, the hashtag GameCat for the $1.99 donation. He says, Bryan, buy Dave a Snickers. Cheers to the shot, Dave. Meow, meow.
You go into them too fast because last time I was the first one to see the donation, so I had the sound ready. Now you're just like right on it, and you're way too quick today. I don't even have time to get my Metal Gear Solid.
I mean, I would be fine. I would be fine, like giving you the, handing the reins over to you to do the donations, or the tips. But I don't know. I feel like a sense of responsibility about this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
What up, Mr. Jeremy King in the chat? What's up, my dude?
What's up, Jeremy? How's it going,
buddy?
The
Sofa King himself. What's going on?
Yes. Also, guys, on fist bump to you.
All right, guys. So let's.
It's time for that. Yeah, you ready to move on?
I'm ready to move on. What do you want to talk about next?
I'm actually ready to start getting into some news.
Sorry, you don't get to do that.
If you want to talk about anatomy...
We are certainly going to talk about Human Anatomy VR for just a moment, because I started this thing up just an hour or two ago. And, here's the thing. They're calling it an educational title, and that is what it is. It is very, very little other than that. It is almost like a textbook come to life. Do you see what's happening here in the trailer? No, you don't. You guys don't. But everyone else does. There's just nothing here. There's nothing. I've played tons of educational games in my life, and a lot of them have made education fun, right? Like, I mean, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Anybody?
That's what I was
Mavis Beacon, let's teach some typing.
Sure. Or Typing of the Dead. Come on.
Typing of the Dead is one of the best fucking games I've ever played in my life.
I love that game. So, but this is literally a textbook, and the controls are not that great. There is no framework to the entire thing. It just puts you in front of a skeleton, in front of a male human. And then and then it gives you like this menu that you can kind of select different things from. So you can see just the skeleton or just the nerves, just the whatever, right? The lymphatic system, whatever you want to do. And there's an option to select a woman, right? And like, okay, let's change the gender. When you change the gender, and I can't figure out what's going on here, it goes from being a full human representation of a man to just the pelvic region of a woman. And I was like, what? Like I can't.
Yeah, why wouldn't it be a full?
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on there, and I can't figure out like if it's a glitch or what's going on. But it is it's an absolute mess as far as that's concerned. You can take tests to test yourself. It basically. No,
there was an ad. There was an ad before the sound effect. I had to fucking sit through the ad. Sorry.
Real quick, shout out to Joystick Guru with the $2 donations.
This is what I was doing.
Cat emoji, cat emoji, cat emoji, cat emoji, cat emoji, meow. It's
that was the whole reason I was getting the Eagle Screech sound effect in the first place. You fucking jumped the line and you got. All right. Go ahead. Do whatever you want. The people want the sounds, man. I'm telling you.
So I took a test in Human Anatomy VR. Right? They're like you're looking at whatever specific system you're looking at that point.
Whatever part. Tests though. They have like quizzes. And shit?
Exactly.
Okay. Cool.
And so you click test off the menu, and then it gives you a test based on the thing you're looking at, and it's basically like it gives you like an outline of that section of the body, and then a bunch of bones or muscles or whatever the hell you want to be tested on, and you just take from the selection and bring it over to the right place in the outlines. And that's it. But the thing is you don't even have to look because it's very forgiving in terms of where you place the object. So as long as you grab an object and put it anywhere near where it's supposed to be, it'll automatically flip into the right place. And so
you can put the Bos deferens inside the urethra and nobody would even care.
I took 2 tests and I just went, done, 5 seconds. Like I wasn't even looking at where my shit was going.
It's no obstacle to put the testicles where they need to go.
I have one question about this. Can you even learn something from this? Is there anything? I know you're kind of talking about that, but can you actually learn? Because these education games, like Titanic stuff, they usually give you like a little bit of nice history and stuff, but it's also in this awful game thing.
Yeah, this is awful on a lot of levels, but it is probably good at what it's trying to do, which is giving you a VR representation of the human anatomy, and you can actually really go layers. Like even when you select that you just want to see all the muscles, you can kind of pull in and out and see like the deeper layer of muscles and go out and see like and have it kind of create the more exterior. It does what it does, but it just. I can't imagine how this is useful, like in any kind of practical sense, like in some kind of teaching way.
I only can see kids using this, and since it's educational, they're going to be like, "Can we play Firewall again?"
Yeah, I'm really wondering, like, is this somehow better than a textbook because you can actually pull things apart and kind of get a better representation of what things really look like. And I don't know if that's the case. This is not for me. This is not for most people. It's not. I don't. If you're just want to learn about the human body, there are probably better, more entertaining ways to do it. This is very, very bare bones. Pardon the pun.
And guess what? It's $20, Dave.
Yeah, I don't know what other prices could be they could charge for this. It's because
I don't know why you said it all sassy to me. I'm not saying this shit is worth $20. I never said fucking Human Anatomy was worth $20. I was just gonna say before I started looking for this sound clip somebody suggested, Preacher said get this Schwarzenegger sound, so I'm ready for the next one.
Oh God.
But anyways,
why do we listen to Preacher? Preacher's my arch nemesis.
I love Preach. He's a good guy.
That's why he's my arch nemesis.
He's a level designer for Ubisoft. He makes stages for the Division 2 if anybody plays.
Oh, that's why that game was terrible.
He's a bigwig.
No one played Division 2.
I'm just kidding. I love you, Preach.
Yeah, nobody in the world plays with it. Anyways,
nope.
Actually,
I never said it should be worth $20. I was actually just over here thinking it ought to be fucking free. I think it should be a free game.
Original Uber bitch says, looks like the kind of game parents would buy to punish their kids.
yeah, pretty much. Unless you're an anatomy student, please save your money.
Like, so I totally see the benefit and the application for like a medical student, like they're talking about, like in the chat. But it's like, I don't know, for a regular person who owns a PSVR, why would you spend $20?
Yeah, you're talking about
like any like Joystick saying it's actually a really accurate representation, which is awesome if I'm training to become a nurse or something. But like, for me personally, I don't give a shit. Like, I don't even want to know what's inside my body. It freaks me out. So, like, I don't want to spend $20.
You just don't want to see the current state of your liver. That's the real problem.
I just took that shot they asked me to take. So.
probably looking pretty good right about now. Yeah, that's the thing. When you're talking about a niche market of a niche market, I mean, like, you're talking anatomy students is a super, super niche market. And so what's the percentage of anatomy students that also own a PlayStation VR headset? I think you're into like double digits. I think there's like 12 people out there that'd be like, I could use this.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is the kind of thing for me where, like, you would take a Quest and you would buy for your university medical program like a certain number of quests.
Like something you could buy for students. If you're a teacher and you own a PSVR, boom.
Yeah, but like,
have some fun.
You know, just something that people as a class could go home and play with, or just in class say, hey, this is a visualization of stuff, so you get a really good idea of where exactly this is.
Yeah.
Because it's someday they're going to have to actually be going in there on a real body, checking that shit out. But just for $20 on PSVR, it's a total no-go. There's no reason for anybody.
Yeah, when I'm talking to gamers and trying to recommend things for gamers, and it's a no-go for sure. This guy, I don't know how to actually review this.
Rody,
yeah,
very good question. From
Go
Rody.
buy Pinball FXVR.
Oh, that's a good game.
And the Souls
Pinball.
Project.
Yeah.
For half the price of this game right now.
So
sure.
Rody says, but did you try the stunning ant mode, Bryan?
I did.
I saw that in the trailer where you're tiny and you look inside of a stomach from Tiny Man view. How is it?
It's exactly what you think it is.
Okay.
It's not. This isn't inner space. You know what I'm saying? Like they did not find a way to make the human anatomy exciting, even in ant mode. I promise you. Although inner space, I can't imagine that aged very well at all. If anybody even knows what I'm talking about.
I've heard of it. Is that the one where they shrink the little thing, the ship, and the guy goes inside of the person to try and help them from the inside? Yeah.
Yeah. I forget what that was all about, but yeah.
The concept from that movie, nobody's seen it, but it's in so many other things. There's like 30 other instances of like, let's go on a tiny thing and go inside of a person's body, you know, like on cartoons and whatever.
Yeah. And then finally, real quick, as far as this week's releases are concerned, I do want to make a quick mention about Tokyo Chronos. The deal with this was that when it launched, or when it came out for PlayStation VR, it came out for $50, right? Which was total shock to me, because at $40 on Quest and on PC, it seemed a little pricey, right? And especially since like they're showing all this animation in the trailer, but in game there's very little animation, and it's not translated to English, so you're like hearing all the original Japanese voices and you're reading a lot of subtitles for 15 hours straight.
For $50, you gotta
translate.
You gotta localize it. You gotta localize it.
Yeah.
You can hire voice actors for $50.
Yeah. I would have done this for free, because
I would have done it too. Yeah.
Being in this would be amazing.
Let's hit those guys up and say we'll do a patch.
Yeah, right. Seriously. So when this launched $10 more on PlayStation VR, there was a little part of me that said, well, maybe there's some extra work put in. Maybe they did something a little bit bonus. Maybe they translated things. Maybe they localized it. It's exactly the same. And I'll tell you this about that. It's odd, man. It's very odd. You know, like there are certain, especially right at the beginning, there are some VR moments where you see yourself in the mirror, you see your hands, but none of them are tracked one-to-one with Move controllers. So when you see yourself in the mirror, you turn your head and the dude in the mirror turns accurately, but you're moving your hand and nothing happens. This is not the Batman Arkham VR, introduction, which is a shame. There's a lot of missed opportunities for VR. So then when you miss those opportunities in VR, you start wondering, well, why was this in VR in the first place? What were they trying to do? And the answer is, I'm not totally sure yet, but I will be blasting through this at some point and getting a review out there, because again, the story seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm only about an hour in still, but what are you gonna do? Yeah,
it's just, I feel like it's gonna, for most people, I don't know how you can justify a $50 visual novel. So in non-VR, people will pay full price for a visual novel,
right? But
there's something different about looking at a static image on your TV than there is being in a VR headset and looking at a static image of anime in front of you.
Right.
It's like, why isn't there anything else here for $50? If this is a VR game, can't we get like a little more than the usual visual novel thing where people actually move and talk? Maybe it's translated. I don't know. It just seems like, I don't know who's going to buy this for the most part.
I feel like I've heard a couple people say they actually enjoyed it a little bit, but I'm not a big visual novel person. I'm also not really an anime person, but I am very open-minded. So I do sometimes watch animes that my friends tell me to watch, and I do enjoy them and stuff. So
everyone just go watch the end of Evangelion. Don't watch any other parts of Evangelion. Just watch the end of Evangelion.
What? Don't do this to me. Don't.
I take a shot and I just start giving bad advice to everybody.
Yeah, it's horrible advice.
No, I was just kidding. Don't do that.
Yeah.
But, so I'm actually interested in visual novels. I just can't bring myself to spend $50 on them.
Yeah. Well,
like there is no way that I can. I've never played visual novels really, but I'm interested in them. I wanted to try them out. I'm curious. I think I might like it.
If you still have your Vita, go pick up Danganronpa and have
I never got a Vita. I wish I had.
All right, well,
they make it sound
I never
awesome.
got a
They did make it an HD remaster of Danganronpa, so go pick that up on PS4. So go grab that. That is like it's very much like Evangelion in terms of or Death Note in terms of like, hey, if this is your first anime or if this is your first visual novel, this is a great place to start because you'll get hooked there. If you weren't hooked
and
before.
I want to say real quick because I only got 6 minutes left.
Yeah.
Guys, this is one of those nights where I got to leave early, and we have a special guest host.
We do not.
Mark? No, we don't have a special guest host. I'm sorry.
No, I just found out. Sorry.
That's fine. This thing with like, fuck, I totally lost my train of thought. Go ahead. I'll think of it in a minute.
Take another shot. You'll be fine.
I'll just finish the one that I didn't actually finish before.
There you go.
Watch Ninja Scroll.
All right, well, let's
Noted, guy, son.
I had something I want to talk about for my last 5 minutes.
Wait, was it new? Was it Tokyo Chronos related?
I know what it is. It's Danganronpa related. So here it is. They released that cool ass Danganronpa VR demo, and other things have released cool ass VR demos.
Last Guardian. There's also this one in Japan that was like Kizumono Gitari, and it was this cool like anime theater, but it had like cool interactive like 3D shit flying around. I played that.
That was one of my favorite things. I really like that thing.
Yeah.
This concept of like putting out a demo or like a trial or like a version of something with no plans for an actual game is kind of frustrating after a while because like once you see Danganronpa in VR, you're like, I want to play this fucking. Yeah. Why are they teasing me like this if they don't have a game?
But also, I mean, there's two things there, right? Like one is to gauge interest, and to hear feedback and
but I mean, how do you gauge interest when it's a free download? Like anybody will download. Like it's I don't know.
Well, when it's a free download, then it's easy to get people's responses. Like you hear people talking about it and see what they thought of it.
Yeah.
But also, I think this is a lot of experimentation for VR is a new medium, for every single developer out there. There's not a developer out there that hasn't been, working in VR for, more than a couple of years. So, although I guess there are exceptions.
Except maybe Servios would be. I've seen that. Have you guys seen that picture of the guy from Servios, Nathan Burba, with like a laptop and a backpack strapped to him and like all this jacked up VR hardware like taped together, and he's holding 2 Move controllers, and it's like 2013 or something.
That's awesome.
Like he was prototyping this shit way before anything. So Servios has been for a while. But...
Well, and I did want to make an exception with like Des was telling me about Tender Claws, who made virtual reality, and like and that game's been around for like 6 years or something. Like
I love that game too. I know AJ, you're not the biggest fan, but I think VR is fun.
So the other thing about all these little experiences, these free kind of demos that you're talking about, is that these, I think when developers are first coming to grips with something, they experiment, they try something, and then maybe they go, you know what, that was a cool project, but we're going to go in a different direction, whether it be non-VR or whether it be, we're going to do a different form of locomotion, or we're like, oh, that graphics engine isn't what we want to use, but we have this thing that we created as an experiment. Let's put it out there and just and give it away and see what happens. And then they go off and like do their other thing. So I think it hasn't been long enough to see what the Last Guardian developers are doing.
I agree with you. I think
guys
PSVR 5 will probably be when we see actual projects from those people.
Yeah, I think so too.
So
yeah, so it'll be interesting for sure. But I think we got to break into the news here. Time to get the ball rolling.
All right. Well, I got 2 minutes of news left in me, so let's get it going.
All right.
I'll react to whatever you say within the next 30 seconds, then I got to go.
All right. What's first up on the on the breaking news, AJ.
Man, I am so excited to talk about the news because
I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not.
No, I am. No, I'm sorry. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm very excited to talk about the news. There's some cool stuff going on. First up, there is a game that just released on PC called Downstream VR Whitewater Kayaking. And this game has originally shown. I know.
I really want to play that.
And they've shown it forever now, and it finally came out on PC. They have said that I actually asked the developers and said, are you guys still planning a PSVR release? And they said, yes, we would like to. So obviously they haven't officially confirmed, but that is the plan. They've been saying that it's going to come to PSVR for a while now. But obviously, usually they get stuff released on PC first. But man, this game looks like a blast. I know graphically it looks kind of simple, kind of basic, but the gameplay and everything, the idea of the game, I love the thought of extreme sports in VR. And even though this may be a smaller game, it does have multiplayer and stuff. I'm pretty excited for this one.
That's cool. Yeah, no, honestly, I got 1 minute, so it's my last statement, and then I'll leave. I'm not an outdoorsy guy by any means. I'm a stay inside, play video games.
You're an indoor cat.
The sun makes me burn and sweat.
Heard.
And I've had skin cancer before already, so I don't want to deal with that shit. I'm not trying to get a suntan. But anyways, when I was a kid, I did whitewater rafting, and I fucking loved it. It was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had in my life.
It is fun.
Yeah, it's super fun. So when you say whitewater rafting VR, like if I'm just going to be sitting around,
it's kayaking.
It's not like there's not even
really similar.
Okay, yeah, but there's no whitewaters near me in Florida that I could go hang out on, So I'm excited. Also, it's 7 p.m., so I got to drop, guys.
All right.
Thanks for having me. As always, sorry about the whole phone thing at the beginning, but
it was very entertaining.
I'll try to tune in the meantime if I'm not too busy with work shit.
All right, Dave. We'll talk to you later, bud.
Later, bud.
Good night, Game Cats.
Yeah, Brian, what are you thinking about this one? Because, like Dave, I've been rafting a bunch of times, and I really enjoyed it.
I can't say I've been rafting. I don't think that comes as any surprise to anybody. But yeah, it's cool, man. I think when like Rush VR, Rush VR probably shouldn't have done anything for me. But man, I think you get that sense of speed. And the graphics. You said the graphics on this don't look so high, or don't look like anything special, at least. And I kind of disagree. I kind of think you see something that looks like this, and when you put on the headset, that the immersion that it brings is enough to be like, oh yeah, no, this is getting the job done. And any game that isn't afraid to, give us that sense of speed, is definitely okay in my book. I think I don't like sports. I don't like being outside. I can kind of like copy and paste everything that Dave already said, but this kind of stuff definitely appeals to me in VR.
Well, yeah, I mean, because you get to have this experience without doing sports, without going outside. Another thing too, obviously they've got the checkpoint system that you see, but there's this little parachute thing that you can deploy to go a little faster, and then it's also got this grappling hook. We always talk about the grappling hook in Jet Moto.
No, you always talk about the grappling hook in Jet Moto.
You like the grappling hook mechanic more than I did, so I talk about Jet Moto a lot.
I didn't like it enough to actually buy Jet Moto 2 and 3. I think you, however.
I'm gonna get that secret one too, but no, I've always loved extreme sports and stuff. I've always tried to do a little bit of them. Obviously my favorite was always snowboarding, but living in Atlanta, you can't really snowboard around here, so I had to sell my snowboard. I did used to have a kayak that I had, and used to take it on the Chattahoochee River all the time, and eventually had to get rid of that too because it's just I didn't go enough. Did street luging. There's nowhere to street luge, and it's really weird.
Is it really called the Chattahoochee?
It is called the Chattahoochee River, yeah.
That's so depressing.
There's a couple. There's Lake Lanier, Chattahoochee River. There's lots of stuff here.
I heard Chattahoochee in a country song one time, and I was like, why is he saying it like that? Why isn't he?
Oh, that's what he meant.
Yeah,
maybe.
I was like, that's obnoxious, but it's actually not obnoxious at all.
Yeah, there's like a school called Chattahoochee and stuff, and it may be it may be related. I don't remember the history, but it may be related to never mind. I don't want to say it just in case.
Yeah, let's not go into that.
All right. But no, like I said, the idea of this game, whitewater rafting, is a brilliant idea for VR. for people that don't go outside, don't get to enjoy it. It's expensive. I can totally understand the time you got to set it up to go do it. This would be an awesome thing. I would probably like this more than Rush, to be honest with you. And it's a great workout too. So this could be somewhat of a little bit of a workout game as well.
Right on. Yeah, I'm just trying to imagine myself like on my couch or on a chair and using the move controllers and trying to navigate and like turn. I think throw a fan on your face. Maybe if you can get some mist flowing somehow. I don't know like if there's mist machines out there, but yeah, pretty cool, man. I think this would be a lot of fun, especially multiplayer, just like Rush.
Right.
All right, what else we got?
Well,
wow,
there is this is probably, I think, some of the biggest news. I mean, we've got some awesome stuff, but this seems to be the one that everybody's talking about. Harmonix, which that name sounds familiar for some reason.
Because of like Rock Band and Guitar Hero?
Is that what it is? Okay, that's why. Yeah. Harmonix has announced that Audica is coming to PSVR. What did they say? I think this fall? I forgot now. But a lot of people love this game on the PC side, and it's basically a rhythm-based shooter. And what I've seen from it so far, the gameplay looks fun, and the music tracks look pretty nice. Although I will say there are some of the same songs from Beat Saber, which is kind of weird. Like I think I saw KDA Pop Stars or something.
Whatever.
But there's also, I think I saw a little bit more variety to it. And so Beat Saber is going to have some little bit of competition now, which is good for both of them. And, like I said, PC people love this game. And the concept of it looks great. I love the different maps that it shows. The backgrounds and stuff look really good.
1 second here.
Yep.
Got all sorts of weirdness going on here. Hopefully I can switch the trailer. That was weird. I had this downloaded and then it just disappeared. Re-downloaded Audica. So this is the funny thing is people. I remember people talking about Audica quite a bit and saying that like, oh, I hope we get this on PlayStation VR, and I was like, yeah, well, I'm sure we will eventually, whatever. But man, it's like this is. I feel like I've been playing this game for years now, right? Because we already had a game that was just like this. Well, of course now I can't remember the name of it. I reviewed it. I loved it. It's
not Beat Blaster.
No. I think some.
I don't know. It looks like Beat Blaster and Box VR and.
Oh, this is driving me nuts, man! Like I've never forgotten the name of this game in my entire life. I did a review on it, and now I totally forgot what it's called. But whatever. I can't
remember. Somebody in the chat help right now.
Starship Disco. So Starship Disco.
Oh, okay.
So right. Starship Disco. Yeah, your two move controllers are like little spaceships, and they both shoot, and they're different. They shoot different colors, and you shoot the right color at the right color block coming at you. Whatever. It's exactly. It seems to be exactly the same. And I mean, I haven't played Audica. So, I mean, I don't know if it's exactly the same, but I have a feeling that it is. So, I mean, but that game's been on sale. Starship Disco's been on sale for like $2, right? And so, and the good thing about it, and I mean, I don't know if you want to say this is good or not, but this is a thing. You can put in a USB stick with your own music, and it'll create tracks based on the audio file, the different wavelengths and stuff. It's not
in Audica. No. Or Starship Disco. I know you can in Starship. Yeah,
Starship Disco. And I will say it's not awesome. So obviously you'd prefer to be able to map it yourself. I don't know.
This did mention something about having like a little bit of room to edit some things in the game. So I don't know. I mean, it might be there's going to be some interesting features, but
Cornerstone City says they put the headset on wrong in the trailer. I need to watch this and see them put the headset on because
how do they put that?
I can only imagine.
Or?
No, that's exactly how I put it on. I don't know. You got me. I have no idea. Just they stretch it out, put it on, done. I don't know. I don't know what they could be doing wrong.
Yeah, it looks fine.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Cornerstone City can elaborate on what's going on.
But yeah, this game has really high ratings on PC, as Kev Grett points out, and yeah, it's like I said. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, if you think Beat Saber is just going to completely drown this game out, think again," because a lot of people apparently like it too. So I don't know if it'll reach the popularity of Beat Saber, but like I said, it looks from what everyone's telling me, it looks promising. I like the backgrounds the most so far.
It looks great. It definitely looks like a lot of fun. This would be a great alternative to Beat Saber. If you're a rhythm junkie, then you can't have too much of a good thing, really. And I'm glad
Right.
Harmonix is back with doing music stuff. Obviously, you know, Guitar Hero and Rock Band, those games played themselves out.
Took the world over.
It took the world over, but man, that was literally too much of a good thing. I mean, every single year there was another version, more stuff, and
some
like,
people got sick of it.
People got real sick of it.
But that also, you know, if this is obviously this is the same developers, if they've got some money, I mean, you know, that makes me pretty hopeful about this one. If they've got money, experience with rhythm games, that if some of that money that they made went into this, you know, then it could be pretty quality too.
I don't think they have they don't have Activision money anymore. I think Harmonix like found themselves in a real bad place, and you know, without a publisher around to take care of them, and so it's just good to see that they're still making games, as far as I'm concerned, because I thought for a minute there that they were going away completely. But all right, so Audica looks great, and it does say in the trailer that it's coming out this fall. So I mean, just another dude. This fall is getting really jam packed with releases. I'm a little bit scared, to be honest. You remember when we watched what was it? Was it the first State of Play, and they were just dropping all of those release dates, and it was all by summer or before
summer,
right?
Yeah, it's starting to happen again.
And we're just like, oh man, there's so much stuff. Like they're just totally jam packing the first half of the year, and now it feels like they're doing this all over again. They're jam packing the second half or the last quarter of 2019, and I'm like a little bit nervous. There's just so much stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be next month. We've got like Aspire and Battle Wake and a lot of games coming out next month. Probably some DLC updates for certain games. Yeah, it's going to be a busy one next month. And then you've got the fall, which is where a lot of people like to drop these horror games out of nowhere. We could maybe potentially be seeing Foley, Dear Father.
God, I hope
we know
so.
We've got. We maybe will get touring carts. You know, it's going to be around that time. So
yeah, I think November or so. They're saying they're shooting. I think October was their PC release date. I could be wrong. And then maybe
so they told me September and then October for PSVR was their aim.
Maybe that was
they're aiming for, though. That's not like a thing. So it could be like, you know, September for PC. I don't know. Did it release yet on PC? I don't know. But yeah, it could get knocked back a little bit. But
shout out to Nihilist Ryan, the game Feline. Speaking of wave shooters, Blasters of the Universe is like $5 in the store right now. Agreed.
Blasters is fun.
Blasters is a great deal. Thank you for the $5 donation. Maybe I'll go buy Blasters of the Universe again. I'm gonna do that. No. Thank you very much, Nihilist Ryan. All right, moving on from Audica. We've got
Duran Fan VR, the Game Cat, real quick says, speaking of which, it's been a while since the last State of Play. I agree. We should be seeing another State of Play soon.
Yeah.
If not, I would say at least within the next 2 or 3 months. At the latest, I could see like November for a State of Play. But we know that there's basically all but confirmed February is going to be one to write down on your calendars, because that's probably going to be the PS5 reveal.
It seems like they're doing a launch event. Like, so I think they might actually be doing something slightly different for that.
Right. It may not be right. No, you're right. They did the similar thing for the PS4. They did just a press conference just out of nowhere, and they were like,
yeah, okay, right. Excellent. Well, then we'll definitely be looking forward. I mean, I think if we don't see a new State of Play in the next month, then they're kind of dropping the ball a little bit. Maybe they got nervous after that first State of Play. It was all focused on PSVR, so if they don't have like a lot of PS4 proper games to talk about, then maybe they don't want to.
Right. I mean, you already pretty much know the big games that are coming to flat PS4, which is like. Oh, shit. Now I forgot.
I mean, Death Stranding, Last of Us 2. Yeah.
Right.
Whatever Sucker Punch is working on.
Ones.
What is that? I don't know.
Dylan Gladstone, maybe Folia Dear Father. That one we do know is on the way. That looks awesome.
What about, we had that trailer for Mindtaker like almost 2 years ago, and it looked. I mean, it looked kind of similar to Folia Dear Father, and so I'm kind of hoping that they reveal that soon. Yeah, I don't know. That could be another one. I think we're going to see a kind of a flood of horror games this fall. I think they're just going to all come out of the woodwork.
They typically do. Last year we got Transference, we got Home Sweet Home. So those were two big ones. I think we got a couple other things too. But yeah, and then don't forget. I mean, of course, we're going to be doing the GameCat meetup. But on Halloween, we typically all get together and we go into Rec Room and we go explore the haunted houses that people have made in Rec Room, and it's a lot of fun. We just do open invites, and some people make some crazy stuff in Rec Room that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. Also, I just an excuse to stream anything horror related. Honestly, like if I just decided, hey, I'm going to stream Resident Evil 7 tonight, 1,000 people would stop by over the course of a couple hours and go, "Was there an update? Why are you doing this? What's going on? What's happening?" And it was like, I just want an excuse, like, hey, like, you know what, it's Halloween, that's why I'm streaming a scary game. I do need to finish my Infinite Ammo run. I got to do that soon. Really do.
Last year I played Paranormal Activity. I was a little late to the party. I like how we're also talking about Halloween already. We still got another month in between, but well, no, actually it's about September, so it's getting close to that.
We have a solid 2 months before
this fall.
Halloween
Is going to be ridiculous, though. I mean, we're going to get slammed, and then we got surprised at the end of last year with like Borderlands 2. Speaking of which, tomorrow is PAX West, I believe, and Gearbox official is going to be there. You guys want to make sure you tune into Gearbox on tomorrow, because they're going to be showing some information about the VR portion of Borderlands 2. So I don't know if we're going to get an actual release date or if they're just going to say it's available now, but that Borderlands 2 DLC is right around the corner, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, it's been a long time, man. You think that would be ready to drop anytime now? So
well, they've been trying to. Everyone's been guessing that they're doing it in line with the Borderlands 3 release. So they're saying though it's going to all be around the same time. And what we do know is that we're going to be getting all of the Borderlands 2 DLC, and it's going to be all free. I don't know if that includes Commander Lilith and the other one that sets it up for Borderlands 3, potential PS5 VR title.
Yeah, that was supposed to be free DLC for all Borderlands 2 platforms, or Borderlands 2 on every platform. So I'd really hope that we got that along with it. It would seem pretty strange to not get that, to be honest with you.
Well, I think the DLC is. I think it's actually separate, and and it's paid DLC. So
is it paid?
That's the only. I thought when I looked on the store, I thought here I'll look right now, but
because that was the that I was under the impression that it was free, and if it's not free, then
it's $14.99.
That is mind-boggling. I had no idea.
It's Commander Lilith and the Fight for Sanctuary.
Wow.
And yeah, I mean, that'll be interesting. But they said all DLC for free, so I think I kind of want to say that the Lilith DLC is going to be separate, and then all the other existing stuff. Which, don't get me wrong, there is some good stuff. So. They, we'll see, but not just that is going to be. Oh, you have any other final thoughts on Borderlands 2?
No, I just hope they drop the DLC sooner rather than later. That's all.
So that is tomorrow. That's not the only thing that's tomorrow during the Gearbox panel. Trover Saves the Universe, Squanch Games. They said they keep teasing over and over that they have some stuffs that they're going to be showing tomorrow as well. So I'm hoping that tomorrow we may potentially have some big news with the Trover, the Borderlands DLC, release date, release window, details, whatever.
Yeah.
And then also same thing with Trover Saves the Universe. Absolutely love Trover. Like I said, AAA quality game, even though it's a little short. It has a lot of AAA qualities, I should say, for VR compared to most VR games. Now when I think AAA quality, graphics aside, I think No Man's Sky and how deep and expansive that game is, and
right.
They've really change what I feel about a AAA PSVR game is now.
I will say that Squanch Games, or at least Trover specifically, really made me reconsider what I thought of Justin Roiland's humor, because that was very eye opening to play this thing and to just be ready to hate it, and just be like ready to be annoyed by the constant talking and the again, I've said it over and over, but I really think Justin Roiland thinks that if you just keep talking, it's just that equals funny. And in general, I disagree with that. I think my first playthrough of Accounting Plus kind of proved that maybe I'm not the biggest Justin Roiland fan. But man, when I was playing this, could not stop laughing. Loved every minute of it. Blasted through, and I think, like I said, 2 playthroughs. And the second I put it down, I wanted to pick it back up. Trover, rightfully so, belongs on our top 20 list. Kind of amazing. And Boy Brown, yes, Trover did get a physical release. You can get it on Amazon right now.
Yeah, I'm really excited, man. It's weird for me because the way I knew about Justin Roiland was actually through Dan Harmon, who he works on with Rick and Morty. I love this show called Community. If anybody hasn't seen it, you have to go watch Community when you get a chance. It's so funny. But it's like one of my favorite shows. And then Rick and Morty, he joined Dan Harmon to make Rick and Morty, and it's like, I love that show as well. So Dan Harmon has the kind of story factor where he brings it all together. He can take all this random stuff and then make it like some meaningful story, almost even like South Park, how South Park always has like some hidden message. Justin Roiland is really good at what he does, which is make this crazy, voices, crazy characters, designs, stuff like that. So with Trover, it was very much just Justin Roiland and Squanch Games, and
you can always tell the difference when he's on his own. No one reins him in.
No, I mean, it just goes on and on. But that being said, it still was really funny, and I love the branching dialogue in the game. How just you really could play it through maybe no more than twice, and you hear different things. If you do something different, you're kind of rewarded for it or punished, depending on the character you tried to go into more with. But the gameplay was really solid. It's just something that anybody can play, minus the language and adult humor.
Right.
Gameplay wise, though, it's something for everybody, and it kind of appeals to anybody. And it's also really beautiful. Like it has lots of really pretty,
oddly beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, really, really hope to see. We had the Jopo update recently where you played as Jopo and he's yellow.
Yeah. Didn't really change anything. Didn't even change like the voiceovers or I mean, I expected them to do some kind of like octave switch or something to make it sound different. They didn't even do that. So that it was just a weird limited time update, whatever. But then I saw my Trover got an update today when I logged into PS4. And I was excited. I was like, "Oh, is this the free DLC that they've been promising?" And it's not. It was just the end of the limited time Jopo, which is okay, whatever. I played it for like 5 minutes with Jopo. I was like, "Oh, this isn't different at all. I'm good."
Yeah, same. And the voice wasn't different. Anything. Even if the voice was slightly different, it'd kind of be interesting. But I'm really looking forward to what this DLC might be. I don't know what it could be. It could be other levels.
I'm assuming so. It would have to be, right?
And that would be amazing. I mean, that would be. I don't actually know. I have no idea. It could be anything. I mean, if you look at the DLC that they added for, somebody mentioned in the chat too, the DLC they added to Accounting Plus, it was like it was an extra level. There was actually, I think, eventually 2 levels, but there was like they say the zoo update, the zoo level update, and you get there and there's a surprise behind that. It's not exactly what it sounds like, but so it could be something just to like mess with us, or it could be actual additional lots of DLC. And they did say on the title screen in the game, free DLC coming soon.
Yeah.
So we know it's going to be free.
And I've got to say, man, like I definitely tried to play it in non-VR mode just to see the difference. I'm not a fan. Not a fan at all. Like it just there's something very cool about controlling Trover and being able to control him and have him run right up to you in your Cheropian wheelchair, and you're still with your analog stick controlling this thing that's taking up all your vision, and there's something about the way the game looks and in the way that you're interacting with Trover that just makes there's something unique about it. And even though we've had other platforms, other third-person games on PlayStation VR, this does it differently somehow, and I love it.
It's true. I mean, I think it's like you said, you're kind of controlling two characters at once, but this is just yet another mechanic. Moss, you had the reader where you control the hands,
right.
And then you control Quill, and then there was Ghost Giant, kind of similar, control the hands, and then Louis just went on his own. This one is now you control the chair. It gives you special abilities. I think that's what makes it stand apart from the other one, is like you get special abilities for both the Cheropian, which you're playing as, and then you get special abilities for Trover too. Yeah. And it kind of just added to it. And I was like, finally, Squanch Games delivered like the game that I wanted, not just an experience, but the game. And it was all of it wrapped up in one. And, you got to live inside of one of Justin Roiland's worlds in a game. And it was really cool.
I'm going to say something that's like genetic blasphemous here. And that's, as far as the exploration goes in this game, I enjoyed exploring more than I did in Astrobot, because you were allowed to turn around and go back from where you came. You saw something hiding way up here, and you're like, "Oh, I wonder how to get there." And then eventually you find a path, or you upgrade your abilities. Astrobot didn't really have that as far as.
Yeah, that's a tough comparison for me, because Astrobot really isn't about exploration. I mean, there's like finding some of the secret stuff as you go along. But you're right. I mean, this has this actually has exploration to it, I think is the big difference.
That's what I look for in a platformer. I love to explore. I love to find every single nook and cranny and find every corner and figure out if there's something over there, how do I get there, right? And Astrobot, as great as it is, we keep calling it like maybe the best, for you guys, the best PSVR game ever made. I say it's the second best PSVR game ever made. But as far as the exploration element goes, I think Trover does it better.
Yeah.
So.
When I think of platformers, exploration is just a bonus to me. It's not something, when I get a platformer, exploration is not something I expect. It's just a bonus. It's like, you played Castlevania Symphony of the Night a lot. I played Super Castlevania 4, where it's just side-scrolling. It's just about the gameplay, really. Now, the gameplay in Astrobot blows Trover's out of the water. But really got to commend Squanch Games for finally getting some gameplay, good gameplay too. Yeah. Once you get the rolling mechanics, the double jump, the floating, the moving. I love how you grab and interact with objects. That stuff was great. And then I love how you pick up a block or something, and the guy's like, "Oh, look at this wise guy. He thinks he's gonna solve this puzzle." Blah blah blah. And it's really, really good stuff. But yeah, tomorrow, guys, keep an eye on PAX West. I'm sure there's going to be other VR games too.
And keep an eye on the channel, because you never know when a breaking news report might happen. Actually, I don't even know when a breaking news report might happen. It's like, did I eat pizza today? Did I drink enough coffee? If that's the case, you'll probably get a breaking news report. So, I think we're gonna move on, man. We talked about Trover for an hour and we didn't actually have anything to say about it, which is kind of crazy.
No, it was cool. I don't think we've ever had an in-depth discussion on Trover, so it was nice. Now that you've actually played the whole thing through twice, it's nice to hear your thoughts. I'm really glad you liked it, because it's
just not on a flat screen. There's something that it just ruins everything on a flat screen.
Oh yeah, no, I can't. No, none of these games that are mainly supposed to be VR, and then when you play the flat screen, they're not going to be as good. Absolutely not. Yeah. I think even IGN had a review. All right. So, want to talk about No Man's Sky just for a little bit?
I mean, I suppose we could, yeah.
Yeah, it's this little game called No Man's Sky. We already know the physical release is coming out pretty soon, but something interesting is happening. They've been working hard. They've been updating the game constantly. I haven't had any crashes in about a week and a half or so. Still lots of little bugs that they need to work out. But basically what's going on is Sean Moore even tweeted today that they are releasing these experimental patches on the PC side. Thank you, PC gamers, for testing this for us.
Thank you, guinea pigs. Thank you.
But no, the plan is after that they are going to release these patches once they get confirmed that they work and everything, that they're going to put them over to us on PSVR or consoles, I should say. So the significance of this is that they've mentioned lots of graphical updates, little things. I know some people were talking about resolution changes, this and that. When I read the new notes that he just patched, it was like, oh, we've improved the illustrations of the milking mechanics or something. I'm like, oh God, like, I really want, like, the full pro patch to come. I can deal with it. Like, I totally think the game looks awesome the way it is. Like, it's very playable, it's very enjoyable. But I do want, it's a very big want, because if you improve the graphics on this game, it's going to melt brains left and right.
Yeah. No, I think I really shout out to Dave Station VR for a.
Did you do that?
Yeah, I totally did that.
Okay.
Did it sound good?
Where did that come from? Yeah. It didn't make me go deaf, so that was nice.
I see that. I put it up to the phone. Dave Station VR with a $2 donation. He says, "I want to hear an air horn." Nailed it.
Oh, gotcha.
You're welcome.
You did nail it.
I tried my hardest. So yeah, I think that it's really kind of disappointing to hear the reactions to No Man's Sky VR. When we were all sitting around going, if they can even make it happen, we'll be totally impressed. And,
right.
And they made it happen. Like, and with full locomotion and smooth turning and all of the options, where the move controllers are so immersive, and the DualShock 4 lets you just kick back on your couch and play like a video game, and just the infinite number of plans to explore, and just the depth of literally everything you can do in the game. It's so mind-boggling. I'm sorry, I'm distracted by G4 Schmaster. G4 Schmaster. He says, "You're an attractive young man." And he thinks that Dave Station's well endowed. I agree with both of those statements. Just gonna say, without any actual knowledge of Dave's what's going on with Dave.
Thank you, Gashmaster.
Yeah,
Gashmaster was here last week with something.
Oh, is it Gash? I was like, I thought it was G4. I mean, it is obviously a 4, but I was trying to get the
G4 Schmaster.
G4 Schmaster. I don't know. Whatever.
Isn't that where you live? No, but
Wooshmister. That's how it's pronounced. Totally. So after all of that, and being able to increase the player count and meet up at the Nexus and go out and party as a 4, like the whole thing, right? Everything worked in VR, and with the number of patches and everything that they've come out with to keep it from crashing, and everything seems to work. It's a little mind-boggling that people go, "It's too blurry. It's trash." And I'm like, what? What? I mean, like, did you not ever own a PlayStation 1 or a PlayStation 2? Like, do you have?
There's probably plenty that didn't, and
like, graphics don't make a game, and if you just take an hour or two and sort of acclimate and get into it and just realize what a deep, amazing game this is, graphics are very much almost a non-issue, right? And I know that you said you've kind of your eyes have adjusted to the point where you don't even notice it.
I'm blind. Here's the thing. That can be a game breaker for me. I know I preach all the time that if just because the graphics
don't say
are bad,
preach around me. Don't say preach. Come on, you know how I get.
I think there definitely can be times where a game can be broken for me. Operation Warcade, surprisingly, as fun as the game is, I can't stand the way it looks, and it deters me from playing it. This game, even though I think it could use a pro patch, could get rid of some of the blur, there are still plenty of moments and places and things that I do in this game that I'm just like, wow, like in awe. My jaw drops to the floor. And I think what they did was that they made it look really good when you're up close. And I think because of that, like I'm constantly looking at things up close and not at the distance. And I think that's why I still get that like shock and awe over a lot of the stuff in the game. Not to mention, there's so much stuff in the game that it's just, there's so much going on that it tells my brain, like, there's all this stuff happening and it looks really cool. And it kind of tricks me. But yeah, when you first jump in, it's going to look really blurry. But really, within 20 minutes or so, your eyes start to adjust, or you're just going blind.
One of the other.
No. But no, your eyes adjust and like you don't even care, and that is a game breaker for me sometimes, even though that's not what I care about all the time. It is a game breaker if it doesn't look good. Not with this game. This game's amazing. I've already put another 120 hours into it since the update.
Insane. It's insane. So obviously, you know, we want this game to sell VR, right? Like this is kind of one of those games that almost everyone has in their collection if they didn't sell it, and to be able to go.
I have said before that if I didn't have a PSVR, I would have bought one for this game.
And I think people should, but I also think that, you know, that pro patch does need to happen for it to be as accessible to everyone. It's already a pretty inaccessible game. Like it's got a pretty high learning curve right off the bat. It's tough to get into, and you know, I mean, it takes hours in my book at least. Maybe I'm not. I've never been into like different crafting games. Like Minecraft was totally lost on me completely, and
I haven't either. But I think it's the sci-fi. It's for me, it's the exploration. You know, like those clips I sent you yesterday, where I'm walking, and then there's blue grass and purple trees, and then there's giant freaking birds the size of my ship flying by. You were like, you know, we need to show off the action in this game. I'm like, yeah, but that also is part of it for me. Like wandering, exploring, and then seeing this amazing environment with this amazing life walking around it. You know, that's a big part of it for me too.
Right. So I just want this to be something that everyone can jump into and go, oh yeah, I get the difference that VR makes. You know, people who've played 100 hours on a flat screen, I want them to be able to jump into this and go and have no complaints, you know, right off the bat.
Right.
Just look around and
totally agree.
Oh, wow,
I totally
this
agree.
is great. Yeah. Cool. Dan Kiefer saying, Brian, where's the Game Cat Planet? Honestly, I've been focusing on the review for No Man's Sky. It is pretty much the bane of my existence at this point. But there is, I mean,
we've got Game Cat bases everywhere, man. We need to come hook you up, Dan. Yeah, I need to get you on PSN, man. You need to come check out my place that I made with Just Incredible VR, the Livinator, and Wonder Rob. Man, we made the coolest underground place. It's so awesome, and it's on this crazy exotic planet. Speaking of which, one last thing to mention about No Man's Sky, guys, we have racetracks that we're building, and I can't wait to share them with you. I've shared them a little bit, but yeah, we've got these racetracks across exotic planets, and they work really well. So I can't wait, and I could totally use some help from the Game Cats. I know Frowny has said she'll help. Reth said he'll help. So really appreciate you guys, and I want to get together with you at some point and work on those tracks. I'm trying to do 20 different things with No Man's Sky right now, so bear with me. But these racetracks are legit, and it's just another example of why this game is amazing, because it has nothing to do with racing, and yet I'm here doing 4-person racing, and it's the closest thing to Forza in VR that I've played, and it's just incredible. And you know, instead of Australia, it's alien planets with crazy stuff everywhere, and I really, really can't wait to show you guys this stuff. It is too cool.
And we've got Dave back.
And the racing mechanics work really well, which is also surprising. Really blown away by how fun the racing is with 4 people.
Dave, you got anything to add to the No Man's Sky conversation?
Yeah. Keep your ears out, keep your ears open. Of course, we will let you know, but we're going to be waiting for that pro patch. Still love the game to death. Still think it's a top game, even with that. And you know, if it's amazing. I think half the people are probably playing it right now instead of hanging out with us. But thank you for hanging out with us.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame them at all, honestly. Let's see if I can get Dave's name back in here properly. All right, that looks okay, right? Good. Dave's back.
Bob Zarkoff, the Underground Dave Station Game Cat. What's up, my dude? Darwin's Eyeball. I would totally get you in on it, man.
You're muted, Dave.
I'll get with you in the Discord, and we will have to work on these. It's with all of us working together, it won't take very long. It's a lot easier with more people. Dave's back.
Dave's back, and we're waiting for him to get his microphone set up. He was talking. Oh,
what kind of headphones were those? Those headphones look nice.
I don't know. I want the ones with the little cat ears on them. Have you seen those?
But
they're
like
like $100.
Every streamer has them now.
Oh, I don't watch other streamers. I just watch Actually, I don't watch anybody. I don't even watch us, so I have no idea.
Your long shadow says zero sound. Are they referring to Dave? Or...
Talking about Dave. Yeah, our sound is fine.
Okay, good.
Yep.
All right, but yeah, No Man's Sky, one of the greatest games. It was actually one of my favorite PS4 games, as I told you. It was Bloodborne, Rocket League, and No Man's Sky were my 3 favorite PS4 games. Maybe Nier Automata too, and like Towerfall, Curses and Chaos, a couple other little ones. But
it's my favorite game, along with these 17 other games.
Right. Yeah, but yeah, hopefully we get some kind of updates. You know, I thought it was going to for the Pro patch. It still may be, maybe longer. We don't know, but I'm hoping this kind of looks like a sign that it could be coming sooner than later, which would be amazing.
Yeah, I definitely hope so.
Hello.
There we go. There we go. Now we got him back.
Hey. Welcome back, Dave.
I'm here. What's going on, guys?
I want to sing the Welcome Back Cotter theme song.
Nothing. We're about to talk about Honor
back,
and Duty because there is an awesome update. Shout out to Reggie Strange, our dude over there at Strange Game Studios, continuing to support this game and do awesome things with it. He has released a patch for it that has the first player-made player-made map. Not only that, Reggie is adding an update to Honor and Duty that is going to allow us to create maps in Honor and Duty. How freaking cool is that?
Are you serious? Yes. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. That is pretty unbelievable. Now the question is of course, we're going to be able to create maps, but that's all we know, right? We don't know if we're going to be able to share those maps. We don't know if we have to upload those maps and send them over to Reggie to get him, approved for the game. Do we know how this is going to work at all?
No. I mean, Reggie's in the chat. He says, "LOL, thanks, Reg."
Damn it, see, I'm talking to Reggie tweet on the phone the other night, right? Or I'm sending him a text. Send him a text. And I'm like, "Hey, man, I'm about to put a breaking news report. Do you have any information about Honor and Duty to include?" And he's like, "No, I don't really have anything to talk about." 2 days later, it's like
a map.
He keeps it close to the vest.
News.
Nothing to announce until there's something to announce.
The biggest news of Honor and Duty since release D-Day. That there's an upcoming map editor.
That's cool, man. Like that gives you. I mean, everybody benefits from something like that. It's not something I expected, but just really cool.
No, I didn't either.
Yeah. For people that enjoy designing stuff, which I do, I know Will does, probably Seraphim.
Oh yeah, that's why Will likes squishies so much, right?
Right, exactly. It's literally the level editor, and then so we have these people that will get a new dynamic to this game, getting actually not in game, but they'll send out. Wait, Holly says. Actually not in game, but they'll be sent to us and we'll incorporate them.
So just what I was saying.
So that's actually better because I feel like if you could just create your own stages and then people could hop into them, you'd run into an issue where there's already a small player base. If you have to make people install your level and like play on that specific level that isn't the standard one, you're going to split it even. So if they can incorporate it into the rotation, that's awesome. So it's more like a submission process then, right?
Right. So
I like that.
Yeah, it sounds like, and that is awesome because I don't know anything. Man, it's so rough. I'm thinking about like the Tank Factory, right? And about how it went from like super bright to super dark, and how that affected performance.
I like the dark. I like the dark.
I wish that they were both included as an option. So sometimes you play in the dark one, sometimes you play in the light one, because you play them wildly different. Depending on which one
I just hid in the dark and waited for people to walk by and I shot them.
That was most people's complaints.
Yeah,
that was the
That's
complaint
the only
about
way
it.
I got any kills.
Yeah, too many
everybody
campers.
else is way better than. So.
Yeah. Post617 says, I bought both Honor and Duty games and I've yet to play them online. Is it any good /fun? I will say that
D-Day.
Arcade Edition is getting a remaster. Yeah. So I haven't really touched that one in a while, but I think D-Day is, maybe second to Farpoint, one of the most fun first-person shooters you can play on PlayStation VR. Did I say Farpoint? I meant to say Firewall.
You said I was going to say, where's Firewall?
I meant to say Firewall. Farpoint's amazing. But
you're talking the PSVR greats here.
Yeah, but when you're talking about there are no other games really that deliver an awesome 32-player experience, 16v16. It's kind of unbelievable.
It's always some kind of groundbreaking thing. Arcade Edition was the first one that came out like last year. you should have seen how excited we were, like, because nobody had 5 versus 5, and we were just like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Well,
like, this is a proof of concept.
Yeah, Firewalk didn't come out yet. We were like, oh, this is kind of
nothing else had come out yet.
I gotta say, for me, I didn't have that response to it. I didn't think it was that good.
Dave.
The original arcade edition, I didn't like very.
Dave, we played it so much. I know you didn't. You haven't liked a single game we've talked about today.
Well, hold on, but you didn't let me get to my point. What I'm saying is Honor and Duty D-Day edition, I actually do think is pretty good. And I think that he took a lot that he could have improved from the original Honor and Duty and did improve it to everyone's benefit. So I would say probably at this point there is no real reason to play Arcade Edition until the re-release comes out. Right. Because I assume they're going to take some of the good stuff they learned and implemented in this D-Day edition and put it back in to the original.
Yeah.
Because I personally was not very satisfied with the original.
I can tell you that me, AWOL Soldier, Preacher Plays, that's where I met AWOL Soldier and Preacher Plays, was in that game. And we played it. We played that game. I also met Polish Paul there playing that.
I'm so sorry to hear
that. It was funny though. He was like, he wanted to live stream it. So he asked us in the PSN community, the GameCat community. And like, he was, we were like, hell yeah, man, we'll help you out. We'll play it. And so we started playing with him. And then like, I was listening to his stream while we were playing and stuff. And I just remember hearing like, I am no match for the Game Cats. And that's why I always loved Paul, is because of that day. It was a lot of fun. We had a great time. And yeah, we played that game. AWOL Soldier streamed that game for like 7.5 hours. Oh. Shout out to my dude. I know he's busy with the kid and stuff, but that game I know it was more of a proof of concept, yes, but it was so much fun having 10 people together in a multiplayer game in VR for the first time. Absolutely amazing. We played it with Dr. Doom as well. Dr. Doom, a bunch of game cats played that.
Reggie confirms, yes, Remaster has been updated with D-Day coding, so it has voice chat as well as a number of D-Day features, which is always good to hear. I will totally say that I didn't play a ton of Arcade Edition. It was one of those things that we heard before we knew about Strange Games or Reggie personally. It was one of those things where it was like on sale on the PSN for $1 or $2.
Yeah, it was like $2. Yeah, it was super cheap.
And
right.
And we had heard that, hey, there's going to be PSVR support for this at some point. So at no financial risk at all. It was just like everybody downloaded it. Everyone left it on their hard drive, just waiting for that PSVR patch. And we heard so many bad things leading up to it. Like I think in Reggie's blog post, he was saying we had to remove the textures from the ground, from the rocks, from this, and we had to remove these items in the environment to make it run at the frame rate Sony requires. And we were all really expecting the worst. And when we dropped in and it ran fine, and we saw 4 other people running around on our team, that was such a cool moment. As far as like our time, in PSVR history, we got to experience that for the first time. As far as the game went, I'm with Dave. I was like, yeah, I didn't spend much time with it. I wasn't thrilled. And but when D-Day dropped, that was a whole new world for me. I was like, this is you look at this and you're like, oh man, these are kind of primitive graphics. But you get in there and you immediately forget what this thing looks like. It looks good. You can see enemies way off in the distance. It plays really, really well.
And there's so many options. I mean, obviously, we've talked about this before. You guys know Reggie over at Strange Games will throw all kinds of shit at the wall, and it all works. So you can hold an aim controller and then pull a move out of your pocket and start using that as a sidearm, or you can play with 2 moves and have some. There's all kinds of options to the point that no other game has even attempted to include in any as far as control schemes go. So that's really cool. And I will say any issue I had with the original Arcade Edition was like the spawn points, not being able to tell where you got shot from, this kind of stuff that matters in a multiplayer deathmatch. He totally figured it out and fixed it for D-Day.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're reincorporating that back into the original, I think will be pretty good.
For sure. All right. What else do we have in the news?
Well, looking forward to playing that. Definitely gonna be checking out that map. And
is that live?
To the other ones.
Is that patch live right now?
I think the patch is live with the new map. I'm not sure. I think if I remember correctly, the tweet said that it's already been added, or it's going to be added with the next update, and then it's going to have it. But
we just got to wait for him to tell us because he's right here in the chat. So
there's no other way to find out for sure.
I'm pretty sure it's already in there.
Yeah.
We got an update on a game from Sumo Lab, that a lot of people, the only reason I included this is because a lot of people ask about this game constantly. So wanted to give an update on it. And it was basically called Elysium VR. And it's supposed to be this huge sandbox open world game.
That's not Sumo Lab though. Who is that?
Well, you're trying to figure it out. Reggie did confirm the patch is live, and players have really liked the map.
Excellent.
So it is there. There is a new map.
I'm sorry, it's not.
Very happy to hear that. It's what's that?
It's not Sumo Lab that does that.
As far as I know, it's not Sumo Lab making Elysium. Sumo Lab's like Crisis Brigade and Trainer VR.
Crisis Brigade. Sorry. Okay, that's why. Yeah. Sorry. They kind of look alike.
Wrong game, but right developer.
Yeah, but Elysium devs gave us an update. They've been basically on hiatus for about 6 months. Didn't get any news. Didn't hear from them. And then a couple days ago, they finally tweeted and basically said that their Kickstarter failed. I know as many people that were interested in this game, didn't seem like a lot of people wanted to support it. So their Kickstarter failed, and they did basically all they've done is they've come back out and said, we're not giving up. That it's still in development. That they don't have a release window, but basically they're going to be sharing the new roadmap for this game. So everybody who is looking forward to this game, stay tuned. They're going to have some more news on it soon. And yeah,
Elysium is such a sad story, man, because I think everybody that has a PSVR wants Elysium, right? And so we did our best to talk about it.
Refresh my memory real quick. What am I missing out on here? Elysium.
So Elysium is like basically
style.
No, Elysium is basically the biggest scope MMO you could possibly think of.
Oh, okay.
Right, it's like it. I mean, I don't even want to compare it to Meta World because Meta World obviously was just a big giant scam.
Yeah, it's a big scam.
But this, it gives you this big open world and it allows you to to build a house, create your character, get weapons, drive around. I mean, just whatever you want to do. Here's your big MMO open world to do it in PSVR. And it's just the scope of it's just so big, and the fact is that this is kind of something that everybody sort of wants in PSVR. And I mean, I'm speaking for everybody right now, but it's something that I definitely want, especially to see like if they can make it happen, they can make it work. And this we probably get more comments about this game than even Gorn, which is crazy, right? Everyone's like, when's Gorn coming? I was like, and then what happened to Elysium. We did our Cloaked Reaper. It's pronounced Elysium. Cloaked Reaper, it's pronounced fuck you.
No, we're pronouncing it right. Pronouncing it right. It is called Elysium.
I'm going to pronounce it however the fuck I want. That's the answer to that question.
Elysian Fields or Elysian Fields.
I like that movie.
That's where Elysium comes from.
I like that movie, JD.
Thing. We're saying it right now.
So anyway, go spell testicles properly. So, but that's the thing, and so everybody was asking about it. When's it happening? And so we were like, oh, well, there's a Kickstarter for it, and we put it on PSVR this week because it's our biggest show, right? We knew that like 20,000 people were going to see it on PSVR this week. Let's go pimp their Kickstarter. Man, no one supported them on Kickstarter. Like nobody. Like it was the biggest Kickstarter failure I'd seen in a very long time, especially for something that everybody seemed to be interested in.
Right.
So
that makes me feel like it's not even gonna come out.
Well, so what happened after that was, everyone was like, oh, what happened? What's going on? Where is it? And the developers, I think at some point it stated, hey, listen, since we don't have any funding for the game, it's still our passion project. So we're gonna keep working on it in our spare time. But now we have to go back to our full-time jobs, and we're gonna work on it, on the weekends and late hours.
How do you create a compelling MMO in VR on your off hours if you're just a few people? Like, I don't know. Without the funding, I don't have high expectations for it.
Well, we've seen other pretty amazing games come from really small studios, right?
Yeah, I mean there is. So on Quest and PC, there's a game called Orbis, which is an MMO, and it's okay, but it's very, very low budget. It's not very intuitive. You sort of have to rely on other people explaining everything to you when you meet them in the game. And if you find an asshole, you're just out of luck.
Okay.
You know, that's. I luckily found a guy who gave me a pet dragon like the second I walked in, and I was like, "Thank you, sir." He's like, "What color would you like?" So the concept is, it's called Orbis Reborn.
Okay.
Orbis Reborn. It's on Quest and PC.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the kind of thing I would assume you could pull off with a low budget, because it is pretty rough. It is pretty low poly. It's very simple, but I wonder if when it comes, it'll be what people were hoping. If that's.
Yeah, I'm curious to know. Obviously, just watching this trailer, it's very, very ambitious. I have no idea what to think of it. But the fact that it's still in development, I think a lot of people are going to be excited to hear that. At this point, I sort of just wish they would take that amazing looking PlayStation 5 dev kit and then and get to work on that instead. I think this is something that people are going to be looking for next gen.
Do we think the PS5 dev kit looks amazing?
I think.
I don't think he caught the sarcasm.
I think that, yeah.
I don't think it's a dev kit. I can't believe people think that.
PS5.
I didn't say that either. I think this is one.
No, you don't.
What?
What do you think it is?
Who knows?
I think if anything, yeah. I mean, it's either just some prototype BS or it's a dev kit. I don't think a dev kit would have to look that. I actually don't think it looks that bad, but for a dev kit especially, I think it would look kind of cool. But
it would be the smallest dev kit on the face of the planet if that was a dev kit. These things are usually giant. They look like big old VCRs. They're like all sorts of different things going on. I've never seen in my entire life a dev kit that actually had any style to it whatsoever, or any design.
That certainly is a style.
Whether you like it or not.
Whether
you like it or not, somebody was paid to design that. Right, somebody was paid to design that. Whereas you don't design dev kits; you just shove shit in a box and send it out.
It's functional. It's just functional.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you like it or not. I just don't think it's a dev kit. It wouldn't make any sense. Why would Sony spend any money on making something so compact when they don't need to? It costs money to make things compact. It takes money to stylize things. I do want to see.
Reggie's talking about dev kits.
Yeah, he says, FYI, dev kits have
one in the chat
different hardware and external ports, so their design doesn't usually look like a retail unit. Test kits, however, do typically look identical to retail units.
Well, Reggie, the next question there is, do you have a PS5 test kit?
I would say that Reggie's, if Reggie has one, he's probably signed
under
an
NDA or something. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he can't tell you that.
Yeah, my favorite two things that people have said about that potential design of the PS5 is that A, it looks like a great place for roaches to hang out, and B, it also looks like a great place if you're really pissed off after a game of Call of Duty or something to just cool your dick off. Just kind of
Wow.
I mean, I guess
I didn't say either of these things.
You just said both of those things.
Well,
just to clue you in.
It's funny. I don't know.
Also, I'm like, can we just take a second here and say that I like the shape. I think it looks cool.
I don't mind the shape.
I don't know how I feel about having it in my living room.
Clearly, people feel differently though.
Yeah.
I think I don't think it's the worst design.
A lot of people said they really hate it, and I'm
well, the only reason I like the vents and stuff is because they are vents for cooling.
Right.
It's not really the look of it; it's the functionality that intrigues me. I could care less about. Most of the time, I don't think I've ever, we've talked about this, Brian. I've never disliked the way a PlayStation looks. I've always liked the way they look. I like functionality. I like practicality. Those are more important to me than the way they look.
Absolutely.
But being Sony,
of course. I think for most people,
they're always going to make it look sleek and sexy and stuff.
I think for the regular consumer, though, you do want to have something that looks not like a freaky, it looks very techy right now. It looks very futuristic and like overblown and a little ridiculous, honestly. But I think a lot of just regular consumers wouldn't be too happy with that design. Although I totally agree that it's going to be something way more streamlined, way more sleek.
Still looks better than the 360.
The only one that I don't like is the original PS3, like the shiny one. I don't think that one's good. That had the curve to it.
Yeah.
The fat PS3.
The ones after that were perfectly fine.
The slims.
I only like the second PS3, the one that was had the matte finish with the chrome in front. I didn't like the third design where it had the sliding top in the ribbed plastic. I was like, that's just kind of lame. I honestly know that PlayStation 1 and 2 are iconic at this point, but man, I thought they were really boring. I thought even PlayStation 4, it's a black box.
I love the look of a PlayStation 2, man. PlayStation 2 is very nice as far as I'm concerned.
I was never in love with those things. So I don't know.
They were a little closer. I would pull it out and taunt you with them.
I loved what they did, that's for sure, man. I loved some of my favorite consoles of all time. I just didn't exactly like the hardware. But whatever, you know what?
I love the Dreamcast, and those are the stupidest controllers ever released. The Dreamcast controllers are fucking ridiculous, but I still love the system, Yeah. So
the Dreamcast controllers are ridiculous. I will absolutely give you that for sure. Great system. All right, what's next on our news list, AJ?
All right, we got a couple more things to knock out. Drunken Bar Fight had an update. We know that this game, we heard at E3 that Perp Games is going to be doing a physical release for Drunken Bar Fight. I don't know how you guys feel about this game. I think it's okay. I'm not the biggest fan. My former roommate, broke his TV playing it, so it's kind of a dark. It's not exactly the most pleasant game to talk about with my friends, but they basically said that. Tell me what you guys think about Drunken Bar Fight.
So a physical release of Drunken Bar Fight better be no more than $10 or $15. If it's like $30 or $40, that does not make any sense.
I mean, how much is Drunken Bar Fight on the store right now?
I don't know off the top of my head.
It's originally like $10 or $12, but
are there physical games that are there physical games that release at a $10 price point? I don't think there are. I think Perp's going to charge 20 or 30 for it.
I'm going to say 20. You don't really see physical releases for less than that. It's $12. It's very possible we'll see a price hike when the patch comes, and we're like, oh, we put a ton more work into this, new locations, whatever, right?
They said they were working on like dialogue and stuff like that, and I don't need dialogue. Game like Drunken Bar Fight, you could spend 30 hours recording dialogue. It's still Drunken Bar Fight. So unless it's really substantial updates that change the game in some way, I don't see why it's worth picking up.
I love the official trailer for this game.
There's supposed to be some kind of major PSVR update, but it's basically what's happening with is it's going to release on the Quest in a couple weeks, and they say PSVR update parentheses now with multiplayer is currently in alpha.
It already had multiplayer.
Not good multiplayer.
No, the multiplayer
was the worst multiplayer.
I'm hoping it's actually online multiplayer because that could actually be kind of fun. Their local multiplayer thing is terrible.
If you fought each other online, that would be boring as hell. I don't think that would be fun.
But they're saying...
No, the mechanics in Drunken Bar Fight are not meant for actually fighting another person. Yeah. They're meant for a stupid sandbox where you knock a guy through a glass window with a chair. If you could do that to an opponent, it wouldn't be that much fun. So if you guys team up and you beat people up, I guess that's cool. I just don't see where it can go that would make it.
What if your character also had those same ragdoll physics? So when somebody smacked you across the face, you flew all the way back to the wall and hit against the wall and fell down. I
hate to say it, but motion sickness potential.
Yeah, fuck it, man.
For some people.
Yeah, I mean, I understand, but it's like trying to improve the game. You can't say I'm not going to improve this because it might make a couple people sick.
Well, I think the problem with Drunken Bar Fight is you have to say I can't improve this because what the hell else can I do with this concept to improve it? And the stuff that I've heard isn't really an improvement. It's just sort of an additional thing that I don't care about.
It's taken so long, man. Like, what is happening with this? This game has been out for a very long time, and the minimal updates should not have taken however long this has taken.
Yeah.
The fact that Drunken Bar Fight ever gets mentioned, like people, I'm shocked when we talk about our top 20 upcoming conversations, and people go, "Oh, I hope Drunken Bar Fight's on there." Drunken Bar Fight and Job Simulator, my two favorite games.
That is by far one of my most popular streams I've ever done. And I always get people commenting saying that it's fake, and I don't understand why. I think I've mentioned this before, but they just leave the word fake on the comment.
I don't know what that means.
And I just don't get it.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's not fake. It's really there. It's really what it is, and it's not that great.
Anyways, their update is supposed to be coming in the next few months. So I imagine that's when we'll also see, with this update, the physical release. So we can expect this in the next few months, and that's about it for Drunken Bar.
Is that how we're ending news segments now? I kind of like it. I guess.
For a Drunken Bar.
All right. See you at 11.
No, I changed my mind. I don't like it at all.
I like it. Stick with it.
All right, what's next?
Oh man, I think that's pretty much it. Penn and Teller is supposed to be getting a limited physical release
which is
about.
Strange. Let's address this real quick.
That is odd
because it's on Amazon already, available for order. It's out and it's $20. And then there's this. Where did this news come from? Was it from Gearbox themselves?
We are talking about. I don't know. It's been all over Twitter today.
Okay. It's just very strange that suddenly we have an announcement of a limited release for Penn and Teller when it's already been out. They're saying it's less than 1,000 copies, but I'm sure they've already sold 1,000 copies on Amazon. Either that, or they're just trying to sell the rest.
Man.
Oh, I don't know, but they're just.
I think they made 1,000 copies. None of them sold on Amazon, and they're like, guys, there's only 1,000 in the world.
Like, how is this still for sale?
People get excited.
Right.
It's limited. Yeah.
It's limited.
It's not just not in demand. It's also limited.
Right. Right. Things can be both limited and nobody wants them.
The other thing we got, we did get an announcement of a new game called Spice and Wolf, which is another kind of anime type game.
That's not totally new because they've talked about that for a while on maybe not PSVR, but definitely other platforms.
We announced it this week, a year ago.
It's a Switch game or something.
Actually,
funny enough.
Well, they're going to have Switch VR support for it, too, I heard, which is going to not be nearly as good as PSVR, guys. Don't bother with that. But
yeah, you guys don't seem like you're big fans of the Switch VR thing.
It's not great. I liked the process of building the things. Like the blaster gun. No, the blaster gun is super fun. Like putting it together, there's actual recoil when you shoot the gun, and you can feel a physical reaction to load stuff. So it's a really cool piece of kit, like as far as something you made out of cardboard and rubber bands. But the games that you play with it look blurry. They don't look good. It doesn't attach very well to your face, and it's just not that fun to play with. So,
real quick here, guys. The first review that
going.
pops up for Spice and Wolf on the Steam store says, "I can only recommend this game. I can only recommend this to fans of Spice and Wolf, or if it's on sale for $10. If I hadn't already liked the series, I probably wouldn't have bought this. This is a VR experience, not a game. The experience is pretty short for the asking price. By the way, it's like $25. You pretty much see everything in less than an hour. There are 3 chapters, which are 10 minutes long each. They are fun interactions between Holo and Lawrence. I have not watched this anime, so I can't comment on that. I was overjoyed hearing the voice actors reprising their roles. It's been a very long time. Then you have the interact mode, which is just looking at the same scene and highlighting some objects with your headset. You're not able to point and click in this mode, and the checklist of stuff to do is pretty short. You look at objects and see Holo reaching to them. You can also pet her. The last thing that's what it says. Again? You can also pet her. I have no idea what this is. I don't know. Let me look. Is it characters? Yeah, I think.
Is it a wolf?
It's a girl with a foxtail and ears. And so you can pet.
She's not really a wolf. She's like a furry
pet
woman.
A girl, which, I mean, let's leave that for another conversation.
You're getting some people really excited right now.
The last thing you'll probably be doing is replaying the story to find all the coins.
Who are like getting ready to pet this lady.
So this seems like, I mean, and obviously there's a fan base here for Spice and Wolf.
Not a huge one.
No, but I mean, it's an anime with a fan base. And which it just makes me think that it's Project Lux with Spice and Wolf. Spice and Wolf, is that what it's called? Spice and Wolf skin.
Spice and Wolf, yeah.
You know, it doesn't sound like it's $25, man. Like we really need to stop rewarding people for making these, hour long, barely interactive experiences. that are just ridiculously overpriced. You know?
Yeah, I mean, at least with Tokyo Chronos, you can say this is like a 15-hour game. You know, like it's actually got content. There is a story. There's something going on. With like Project Lux and what it sounds like Spice and Wolf, just like why would you spend any amount of?
I'm watching.
It's not $5-10.
I'm watching the trailer right now, and I'm not going to post it because the last time when we announced this game like a year ago on PSVR this week, I remember getting a copyright claim or maybe even a copyright strike. I think it was one of those things where they like, oh, it's you can't. This video is blocked in 260 countries. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to put the trailer up.
Well, that's part of it. I bet the game itself is going to be like that too when it comes out. If you can't play footage from it, I bet you can't stream it.
Probably.
Well, that pretty much does it for all the news. The only other thing you already covered in PSVR this week is Kevin Brett was mentioning is the Dream Match Tennis is going to be getting multiplayer.
Yeah. Did you guys play Dream Match Tennis?
Yeah, for sure.
A little bit, yeah.
One of the few games to actually support the navigation controller with the moves, which is pretty crazy. Maybe the only game, I think. But I liked it okay. I mean, it's Bimbo Soft, who made Roller Coaster Dreams, which for all its faults, I did have quite a bit of fun with at certain times. It's so janky, but
Roller Coaster Dreams?
There's some sort of magic to it in a way. That, like seeing other people's, you can go to all these other people's roller coasters from all over the world and like try them out and see their parts.
Yeah, but building stuff they force you to build stuff in non-VR, so you have to go back and forth, and the actual construction kind of sucks.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying the games aren't particularly good, but there's some weird charm to them. Agreed. So I think Dream Match Tennis is, when it has multiplayer, might be pretty fun actually. Like I'm down to check that out.
It's something they sort of been promising since launch, and you know, as like 6, 7, 8 months went by, I was like, I don't think this is going to happen. Like I figured Bimbo Soft just went, you know, it just disappeared. We were never going to hear from them again.
Well, the funny thing about that is actually they've been around forever, and this Dream Match Tennis is not a new game for VR. It's a franchise that has existed for a while on PC and stuff, and they did have multiplayer. So I think that's not that surprising actually that they stuck with it, because they've had it in their previous versions of this game on other platforms.
I always get the impression like when developers or publishers send their game out to PSVR and it doesn't sell well, that's when suddenly everything changes in their timeline. You know, we were supposed to see a lot of things.
I can't even imagine what Space Junkies wouldn't have gotten if it sold well. Right. You know.
Yeah. God, Space Junkies would have been DOA if it hadn't been anybody but Ubisoft.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right. All right, you guys. This has definitely been we're dragging on here, going well past 2 hours. So probably time to get a move on and end PSVR GamesCast Live. Obviously, we want to make sure everyone joins our Discord server. The link is in the description. If you like hanging out and having a conversation, I think that's probably the best place to continue the conversation. Make sure you check out Dave over at Dave Station VR. You are streaming again? Yes? No? Maybe so?
Sometimes, yeah. I think I might do Beat Saber tonight if I'm feeling fancy. I don't know.
Excellent. Go check that out. AJ, you going to do some Beat Saber tonight on Without Parole?
Yeah, I might. I'm also going to be starting.
I'm not streaming Beat Saber. I'm not trying to compete with you guys, and I can't compete with AJ because he's like.
No competing. We're co-oping this thing, man. We're co-oping this thing.
No. We're
you play it together.
The viewership.
Co-op it.
I'm just gonna watch you play, and then I'll play it on Friday night. I'll have my nice Friday night.
Yeah, I might need to get some to eat. Real quick, Space Shooter GameCat, you were asking about Nostos. Check out last week's GamesCast and go to about 46 minutes, I think it is. I tried to look it up as fast as I could.
Precise.
That's good.
Go check it out. And I'm also going to be starting on Underground. I'm going to be doing a full run through something of No Man's Sky on permadeath. So can't wait to get that started. That's going to be a lot of fun.
That's some real AJ type shit right there.
That is some real fucking underground stuff.
I started it once and I was like, no, I got to live stream this. So permadeath is so much fun. It's really intense though. I mean, but yeah, I can't wait to just get that going. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much.
Right. Make sure you head on over to PSVR Underground, subscribe to AJ, head on over to Dave's Station. It should be an apostrophe S station. Dave's Station.
It is my station.
It is yours. You can do whatever you want while you're there. DaveStation.com. That's not it either. Dave Station / Without Parole Games. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in, hanging out with us. Thank you, AJ. Thank you, Dave. My name's Bryan, and we'll see you next week.
Have a good night, folks.
Thank you so much.
Never rated this.
Young M Boy, Jock Jackson, Delirium True, Boyd Cat, The Game Citizen, meow. I actually played some with him the other day. Space Shooter, Genetic Blasphemy, Hack the Game Cat, Kev Gret, Dylan Gladstone, JD Meowks. I'm so glad you guys are still here because I didn't get a chance to give you a shout out in the very beginning. Sonic the Game Cat, do go back and watch the Beat Saber discussion in the very beginning. Check out that Sin City colors I got for you in Beat Saber. Seniet Chuduri? Shia Wolf. Sorry. Novadamus. Bogeyman Productions. Guys, fist bump to you once again.
I thought this was where we tell fake stories. Isn't this where we tell fake stories?
I had to
shout people out at the beginning.
I missed my shout out at the beginning because a bunch of
guys, can I tell you a real story?
No.
Can I tell you a real story?
I'd rather
not. Is it still running?
It is.
A hurricane is coming for me. There's a hurricane coming.
Is there a hurricane?
Oh, right.
Really?
Yeah. Are you? How are you guys doing? I know it's a Cat 4.
I'm fine right now. Yeah, it's going to be a Cat 4.
You guys preparing for that?
I tried to.
You say it's going to be a Cat 4?
Sold out. Cat 4. Shit's already sold out.
No Man's Sky reviews in the works, guys. It'll be here soon.
I woke up late yesterday, and already everyone had done their hurricane prepping, and I didn't even know there was a hurricane coming at that point. So as soon as I found out, it was like, there's no flashlights, there's no water, there's no fucking anything. People already.
You'll be fine.
That's how Florida is.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
I don't have shutters. I don't have anything like that, but I think I'll be okay. We'll see. If I don't show up on the next GameCast, you guys will know either I have no power or I'm dead.
Be safe, man.
So we'll see what happens.
Absolutely be safe. If you need a safe place, my house is open to you. But
honestly, maybe.
No, I'm serious. If your place is underwater or threatened to be underwater, grab your PSVR and come over.
Probably a conversation to have offline. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We love you all.
Have a good night, guys.
Any other game